Bye.
Good
Fredo?
morning. Good evening, Ryan.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I like the T-shirt.
Thank you. I think I got this in Philly. I think I got this in
I
Philly
thought we got
last
the
year.
tie-dye one in Philly.
Yeah, I wish I had tried this on because sometimes they're really big. This one's kind of tight for an XL. I should have gotten 2X. Will producer Pam be gracing us with her
Producer
presence?
Pam is kind of a little under the weather, so she will not be joining us this evening.
Fair enough.
She sends her regards.
Ryan, I can't get on my computer, only my phone. I don't even know where my picture is.
Texas, where Atia is based.
I don't know.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
not a whole lot of help with Zoom.
No, I can get on the link. That's fine. I'll just use. I don't know where my camera is. Oh, do anything right here. All right, I'm Lynn. Bye.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi. I'm all ready to go on camera, kind of, not really, but I can't find where the camera is either.
If you're are you on your phone or your computer? I'm sorry, what did you
I
say?
wish I could be on my computer, but
Are you on your phone or your iPod or
yeah,
iPad?
my iPhone.
Hi, Fred. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Sharon. How
Sharon
are
J.
you? Glad you
No,
could
I
join.
can't find
How are you?
anybody.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I think I hear Kathy.
No, it's Lynn,
No, it's Lynn.
and I
Oh,
can't get on.
Ask Ryan if you can have a friend.
No, then she's not here.
How do you do this thing?
Oh,
What is- what
I
is
had
Boom Boom
technical
saying, Sharon?
difficulties. Yes, I hear you.
No, I was
can't.
saying what was Boom Boom saying?
Oh, I don't know. He just left.
I heard something about can you have a friend or something.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure whether I could have a friend join, but she's
Sure.
left. But she
The more
left.
the better. The more the
Yeah.
Now I
better.
can't get on at all. I don't know what the hell.
Start all over again. All you need is you have to hit Zoom, join meeting, put the ID number in and the passcode.
I know,
Oh,
but
there-
the passcode didn't work, so
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I could say it out loud.
Hello, Nancy Barr.
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, can you just click the link that Ryan sent?
She's here. She just can't figure out how to open her camera, I guess, or get on the
She
camera.
can't get the video operating.
She's here.
All right, people, let me try this
That makes
other way.
sense. Yeah.
No, okay, I'm a little challenged.
My system defaults to video being off because I want to make sure you want to be on the camera. So maybe somewhere in your bar underneath your picture is the little bit camera symbol.
All right, I'll go to Facebook and do it.
Nancy, just curious, are you at home?
I am. I'm in Birmingham. Yeah.
I've been asking people when you went to see the movie, how many people were in your theater?
Now I see.
Yeah,
how-
it's interesting. More
How's
than we
it filled
thought.
up?
Probably 20.
20? Okay.
Yeah, 20, 22.
Bev
I
said
think-
there was like 3 in Iowa, which was whatever.
There's
That's not
Emily.
shocking. Anne said she had like 10 or 15 in hers. Mine was full. Me and Mary went and saw it Friday night. It was full.
Ryan,
I was shocked.
we
Yeah.
saw it.
I'm sorry.
We saw it in an IMAX theater in Northern Jersey, and I would say it was about 25% full. It's a pretty large auditorium. It was about 25% full for a 4 o'clock show.
You saw it
We
Friday at
yeah.
4?
Yeah.
We saw it Friday at 7:30 at an IMC theater in Clifton. And I'd say maybe there were 50 to 75 people, most of them in the back, not a lot in the front. And there were
Interesting.
kids, there were adults also, and young people.
I saw it again yesterday, and
Oh, yeah.
it was
Hi,
about-
Sharon.
was
Hi,
full.
y'all.
Hi,
Hi,
Emily.
Claudia.
Hi,
Hi.
Joy.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Joy.
Hi,
I don't-
Nancy. I think
Brian,
it's the
it,
first
it
time
wasn't
we've
it
met.
wasn't tracking for a what we consider a successful opening.
I don't think most of my Panda people know Joy is one of the Pinkie Pies, one of the Pinkie sisters.
Pinkie Pie.
She's in well, she was in Philly, now she's in
New
Montclair.
Jersey, Montclair, yeah.
Oh, you're in
Yeah.
Montclair. That's right. I'm in Clifton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Am I coming up, you guys? Can you see me
Yeah, I
and hear
see
me?
you.
Yes,
Yes.
I see
Okay.
you.
yes.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Oh, there's Ham.
Can't
Um,
find it.
Am I
Fred,
supposed to see everyone?
you can adjust it. Like there's
Oh.
different settings. You can do it to where you can just see the person talking. You can see everybody like Brady Bunch style. You can do it at
Yeah.
the top. You can
Oh, how do I do that?
there's maybe up top there should maybe a 3 dots, maybe possibly.
I can't
View.
get in.
There's
No.
a view at
Fred,
the top right view.
Fred.
I think yes, Ryan.
Question for you. Is seeing this in IMAX worth it? Like I've already seen it twice, so I
Yes.
want to see it a third time in IMAX.
Yes,
I mean, what
IMAX is worth it.
I would say so. Yeah.
just the sound, the visual? What is?
I mean, in a couple of the concert scenes, the sound definitely comes through. But visually, yes. It's always going to be, I think, a better experience.
Now,
But
was it the IMAX that like the curved, or it was just a big screen?
it was
Because
it was just kind of a big screen. It wasn't the curved one
I
like that when
didn't
we went
either.
and we saw one battle after another. No.
gotcha.
It was curved on mine in Atlanta, and it's like the people were right in front of you
Okay.
Interesting.
on IMAX. Phenomenal sound.
I didn't see mine in IMAX, but it was surround sound. So when the music was, I mean, you really felt it.
Why can't I get
But it's not an
in?
IMAX theater, so I don't know. I loved it, but there's only 6 people when I saw it in my theater.
Interesting. What
6?
day and
Wow.
time did you see it?
I saw it Friday at 11:30 a.m.
I'm in Birmingham. Yeah.
Interesting.
Asking people when you went to see the movie?
Friday at 11:30.
Somebody's got us on 2 things because there's an echo.
That's me. Okay.
Lynn, Claudia, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm probably the only person here who hasn't seen the movie.
Well, we're
Oh,
gonna
no.
we're gonna say everything that I don't know
I
if you
don't
want to hear
care.
this. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Good to
it's
see
fine.
you, though. It's good to see you.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks. It's good to
it's
see
good to
you
see you. I
and
just don't want to
Brian and
ruin I don't want to
everybody.
ruin your
Yeah.
movie going experience if
No, it won't. I'm just here to listen and just hang out.
I purposely
I have to
tried to
apologize
you
because
should apologize. What are you
well,
apologizing for?
well, the Packer game starts in about 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Record it. Record it.
I
It'll be
could.
here after it'll be on here after the fact if you need to
Yeah.
bail, that's fine.
Well, plus I have a date coming over later.
Oh, ooh.
A hot date.
Ooh. Wait, are we still talking about the guy that had your picture on his profile as his profile?
No.
Is he
I
gone?
kicked him.
Is that guy
I
gone?
kicked him to the curb. This
Oh,
is the
he's
guy
gone.
I met at bingo.
Oh, bingo.
Oh, bingo guy.
What did they call B-59 and the two of you stood up and said, "I got bingo" at the same
No.
time?
He actually works at the bingo thing. That's one of his jobs. So anyway, he's coming over about 8:30. So I don't know how long we're
Whenever
gonna be on here.
hey, if you need to go and get all gussied up or whatever, for your date,
No,
you just
no,
let us
no.
know.
I think
You
you need
mean
to keep us on so we can vet him for you. We need to make sure he
Yes, he needs to come on screen. We're gonna ask him
passes
20
muster.
questions. We are
You
your
mean I
protectors.
don't look good enough now?
Oh, you look fine. I'm just saying, but seriously, we need to be your protectors.
Every candidate has to be vetted by us.
Yes,
That is how it works.
We have 20 questions.
My friends can always tell me where the red flags are when I don't see them.
Yep. All right. So is everybody signed on now?
I think
Ready to talk about?
anybody that's here, is here. So if somebody else comes in later, that's fine.
Okay.
I thought, if anybody actually has something that they want to say about it, we can just kind of take our turns and say what we have to say.
Well, you
I
direct. Why don't you,
I-
Ryan, pick someone and have them talk, and then that person picks the next person. I can't see everybody. I still can't figure it out. So.
Well, Emily, if you, why don't you just go first? Because we don't know when you're going to need to bail. So.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
I want to go see it again this week. I wasn't expecting it to be as emotional, and I didn't have tissues, so I was a little disappointed with that, but I definitely want to see it again. But I mean, I just fell in love with it. I really did. I thought it was probably a movie that was closest to the book than I've seen in a long time.
Okay, so that's a question. Before you talk, you have to tell me whether you read the book or not, because I think that can make a difference in the viewing experience. So, Emily, had you read the book?
A long time ago, but I started listening to the audiobook over the last week. So
Okay, got it.
there was like stuff that I would, read and I heard, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what happened in the movie, so
Gotcha.
that's all I have to say about the movie. I'm
Okay.
anxious to hear other people.
I guess one follow-up question. I cried too. Like there's nothing,
Mm.
but it was more in the last, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe the last third of the movie. Like there was a
Yeah.
couple, once he started dancing with Adele in the living room, that's
Mhm.
that's kind of when I kind of lost it. And then everything after that was one thing after another. So were you like touched throughout the movie, or were there certain parts that really got you, or?
Well, the part when he, we had to go in and get his dad at the bar, because that's a familiar thing for me too, for my family, I should say. And then, really toward when the end, when he told John that he needed help, and then when he was in with the psychiatrist and he just started bawling, I lost it then. I really did. But I was just really trying to watch like the character and all the different things that he was going through. And I'm like, I had no idea at that time he was going through, but I knew years later. And after reading the books, obviously you hear, about that. But yeah, I just
Okay, fair
very
enough.
emotional.
So a question for everybody, I guess. It's always bothered me, and somebody I talked to yesterday had a pretty good point that maybe it wasn't socially acceptable. But the fact she always sent him, and I'm sure there were times where she had to go get him because it was 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But if it was like during the day or whatever, she sent him, and I always wondered why. Was it socially not acceptable for females to go in there more so than an 8-year-old kid, which blows my mind if that's the case. But like, I don't know if it was a social thing or that was kind of her point to have her go in. I don't know.
Probably
Maybe,
less of a chance that he'd yell at a kid than
Yeah.
his wife
Yeah.
what he
Right.
was doing.
exactly.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. That
He didn't want to
That's what I
cause a
thought.
scene.
he would lash out at her, but with
Good
Bruce,
point.
he would just be sheepish. But
Yeah.
Good point.
yeah,
We have two latecomers here. We got Mr. Sunis down in Alabama, and we got
Oh.
Mrs. Jones. What do you know,
All
Mrs.
right.
Jones?
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Nick.
Hey,
Hi,
All
Nick.
right. So that's all Emily had to say.
Hey,
Nick, we're
Brian?
kind of just giving everybody their chance to say what they have to say, unadulterated, and then we'll just discuss.
Ryan, just to go back to that point, my dad didn't do that, but I do remember in that time, and this is like in the early to mid 70s, that when, like I say, quote unquote, I say blue collar workers got off work, they had a local bar and it was kind of just men only.
Fair enough.
So that things did occur at those times.
I can see
yeah,
that.
that was real.
My grandfather bar fit right into that age group
Now,
of everything.
I don't know if it would be like for 12 straight hours, but there would be a time, maybe say from like 3 to 7, where it would be predominantly just men getting off from work.
My grandfather bar would go to have a beer every afternoon. He wasn't drunk, but at 3 o'clock every day, that was his time. He'd go have a beer, and like he would take us with him sometimes. I'm 8, 10 years old, sitting at the bar with him. Set my boy up with a red eye. I never knew what a red eye was. But it was always just guys. Like there was never. So that's a good point. Like maybe it was just like acceptable for.
Yeah, that was common in my factory town. There was a bunch of bars right outside the main gate of the big factory in town, and at 3 o'clock, you'd see them all heading into those places.
Makes sense. All right, Nancy, you are not on here frequently. All right. So we want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, yeah, I hate that. Your morning sessions always are
I
conflicting.
know
with
you're too
work.
good for us. That's fine. That's fine.
No, stop.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No. So first of all, I was going to say I was kind of proud of the 22 people in our theater yesterday because SEC football was on, and of course everybody here is devoted. So to pry people away from their college football to go to an afternoon Saturday movie on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, I thought was pretty good. And there were teenagers and parents and, you know, a good mix of ages. I
Yeah.
thought it was good.
Yeah.
A good crowd for that, for
That's
Alabama.
good. When I was at if you're going to talk, please tell us like what age ranges you saw. I saw everything from like teenage kids there with their parents to like 80 something people
Yeah.
there. So,
Yeah, good range.
sorry, go ahead.
No,
So
no.
here-
And then the other thing I was going to add to what was said earlier is that I did make a point to read the book early and also to watch the Terrence Malick film. No, number one, because I'd never seen it. So I thought, well, I need to see it. It'd be interesting. And I thought that I felt very prepared for the movie because I knew where Zanes was going with it. I thought Scott Cooper did follow the book really well. True to form. I don't think I cried as much because I was so prepared. Every friend the past 48 hours have said, bring your tissue, bring your tissue. And so I didn't necessarily cry at the dad scenes. But I did get weepy at some of the Asbury Park scenes because now I feel like I've learned myself the love he has for that town and how he brought it back and so much of it that I didn't know, not being from New Jersey. And how he needed to go back to where he's from, and that's so core to him. Of course, I thought that was kind of sweet or weepy to me, just that love and respect for place. So, and I do want to see it again. And I appreciate your question, and Fred, how you answered about the IMAX theater, because we were debating which one to go to, but I'll go to the IMAX then for my second viewing if it's worth it. Yeah.
I think it adds to the experience, Nancy. I do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. That'd be
good
interesting.
to know.
I have never been to Frank's, and I turned to Mary and I was like, is that the real Frank's? And she's
Mhm.
like, yes, that's Frank's.
Yeah.
So I like that
Mhm.
they did, like I was trying to, like the parts they filmed in Freehold, the only thing I know for sure is where the Western Auto Ports used to be on the corner where they kind of turned a couple times in front of that corner. That's the only thing I know for sure came out of Freehold. Like the house was not that, obviously the church was not it. So I wasn't sure how much filming they actually did in Freehold, but yes, I like that they actually did some stuff in Asbury.
So I was one of 3 people in the theater by me. The other 2 people, they weren't Bruce fans at all. They were a couple of clinical psychologists that happened to go because they wanted to see like what were his issues. So they had no idea about any of the songs. I stopped and asked them if they were Bruce fans, and they said they only knew Born in the USA. They had no idea he even made a Nebraska album. So yeah, it was interesting. So, but it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. So,
All right.
Did you talk to them on the way out?
oh
Like,
yeah. Afterwards, I stopped and talked to them, and
I mean,
I was trying to figure out if they were Bruce fans or not, because
Right.
it's a rarity where I live.
So did
So
they have
what they-
anything to
they're-
say? Did they have anything
Yeah.
to say about it after the fact?
Not really. They said it was kind of a common thing, because I did ask him like, well, what did you think of his issues? And I said he started working on those issues, but I think it kind of carried up, it's been something, it wasn't like an immediate fix back then. I mean, he's been kind of carrying it around for a while. So, yeah, that was, but yeah,
Interesting.
they were there because they heard it was about clinical depression and stuff like that. So. Yeah,
I'd be
they had.
curious what they thought about, like if it was an accurate representation of somebody going through that at that point in time. But
Yeah, I don't know. They, they were kind of younger, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know that if they were even born in 1980. They looked pretty young. They looked like they were out of college. They were like practicing at one of our local places, but yeah, they didn't look like they would be all that old enough to really know Bruce and the music side of things.
gotcha.
Maybe they will do more now. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll do more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they'll start listening or something.
Yeah.
All right.
I told them
Joy.
I told them to watch the Springsteen on Broadway on Netflix, because that would give them a little bit more of the
Good idea.
a little bit more of the, because I did think I saw a lot of things that kind of tied in, and yeah, they definitely would go hand in hand. So
All right.
the only other thing I'm gonna quick throw this out real
Yep.
quick. When he was talking to the little girl about eating a hot dog, and he said,
Oh.
"Do you want ketchup or
Mustard.
mustard?" And he said
Mustard, no
mustard. I was
mustard.
like,
He
"Oh,
hates
dude,
mustard.
I thought you hated
Yeah.
mustard." Yeah, but I guess for a cute little kid, you're gonna tell her what she wants to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, I
think,
thought that was kind of funny.
That was
Nick,
funny.
that was one of them. I think they buried some Easter eggs in the movie for us hardcore people that would
Yeah,
know. Like the minute we heard that eat
yeah.
mustards, like no
No.
mustard. So there was a couple
That was
things I
funny.
thought were like those were intended for us as like
And
serious
Yeah.
and there
hardcore
was
fans.
no one found the cassette case.
No, no
Where's the
cassette
case?
cases back then.
Where's the case?
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate it is, but Dave always
Mhm.
said that he literally carried that around in his
his
back
back
pocket
pocket,
of his
yeah.
jeans with no
Mhm.
case for months.
Yeah.
And so how it's here still is
Yeah.
Yeah,
magical.
that's magical. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Joy. Joy is not one of our Panda regulars, but again, she's one of my Pinkie Pies. She's
Mm,
part of our other group that we have. Joy, did you and Susan go see it together?
I was going to say Susan and I did go see it. Susan's my sister. On Friday, it was like a 3:15 showing. It was in a regular theater. It was a small theater, and it was probably almost half full. I mean, it wasn't a big theater, but it was dark when we went in for the whole 30 minutes of previews, etc.
Yeah.
And it was dark even when, like, we sat there until the very end of the movie. Most people did that were in the theater. And the lights actually, I mean, we sat there because we were reading the stuff, but the lights never came on. So I never really saw what the people were age-wise and stuff like that. But I know there were people in front of me and people in back of me. But anyway, I liked it. I will see it again because my daughter wants to see it and she wants me to go with her. I haven't been to the movies in probably 6 or 7 years. So just seeing it
wow.
on the big screen was great. And I thought the sound was great. I mean, an IMAX would be cool, but um,
Joy, had you read the book
I
prior?
had not read the
Okay.
book. I had not
Did
read
you
the
have
book.
any idea of what it was about? Like it was specifically about that period?
I knew that it was about the making of
Okay.
Nebraska. I
Gotcha.
did know that. So I did know that it wasn't going to be hoo-ha, uplifting, kind of biopic, tale of his life or whatever. I think that I felt like Jeremy Strong did a really good job with
Good.
his John Landau. And I felt that Jeremy Allen White did a good job too. I have just recently watched season 3 of The Bear, and
Mhm.
that makes it a little bit harder maybe to see Bruce in it as opposed to somebody who hasn't watched The Bear. I thought he did a great job though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't know that it was great.
Fair enough. I mean, you've been
Mhm.
a longtime fan. Did you learn anything that you hadn't learned
I,
before? I'm
you know,
curious
I
if
had known, when the mom, I knew she was going to send him into the bar. I knew things that Bruce has said in concert and stuff. Um, and I knew, that he suffered from the depression and stuff. So no, there weren't really,
okay.
and then of course, Faye was, a compilation, I guess, of women or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pretty much felt like it was
I
pretty
got a
truthful.
question. Who is the guy that drove him out to California
That
in
was
the?
my
Matt
question.
Delia. His name is Matt Delia. In real life, his name is Matt Delia, and I think he called him Matt in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But
Rowdy,
yeah,
yeah.
Brent,
but there was three
eh,
brothers or two brothers and another guy that owned a
Yeah, 2
motorcycle
brothers
shop.
and another guy.
Yep.
So
oh, okay,
his
so
name
it's
was
just
Matt
it was
Delia.
a real life. It was a real
Oh
life
yeah.
friend, and
Yes.
No,
okay.
no, that was a real guy. He owned a motorcycle shop, and he sold him a
Motorcycle.
Triumph.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
They've been friends. Like when he does all of his motorcycle trips back
Yeah.
and forth, that it's the Delia brothers that are with him.
Mhm.
Okay.
We got some people on. Why are you guys not Norm, Liz, Laura Benson? Why are you not on here?
I want to talk.
Everybody's gonna get their chance. Who said that, Lynn?
Lynn.
Who
Of
said that?
course.
It was Lynn.
Everybody's gonna get their chance, but yeah, go ahead. Hang on, real quick, Lynn. Norm, Liz, why are you not on here? Laura, why are you not on here? They don't want to be on. They don't want to be on screen. Joy, I'm sorry. Is that all? Wait, can we go back real quick? Out of 5 stars, real quick, Lynn, and then you'll get your chance.
That's right.
Let's start with Emily. Emily, out of 5 stars, what do you give it? It doesn't matter. Like, this is just your opinion. Whatever.
5.
5 out of 5. Okay.
Mhm.
Nancy,
4.
4 out of 5. Nick,
I'd say well, from a Bruce fan standpoint, a 5, but from a lay person, I'd say a 3. They'd be kind
fair
of
enough.
indifferent about it.
I tried to do that. Like, I did it as a Bruce fan. Like, I love it, obviously, but then I was looking at it like as a movie person, just like what.
Like if like I contemplated asking a couple of my different girlfriends to go see it with me today, and then I was, after thinking about it for about 5 seconds, I was like, nah, I don't want to take I don't want to take a non-Bruce fan. And I was sitting there watching it thinking, yeah, non-Bruce fan, like so much would go over their head, I think.
Can I add something to what Nick said?
Yes.
My brother Pat and his wife Cindy went with some other people. None of them are really like Bruce fans, and they all thought the movie was excellent. And my brother Pat said, now I want to re-listen to Nebraska and I want to read the book. So I'm going to bring my book to him when I go to Wisconsin so he can read it, because he's like, I'm really interested in it now. So
I am curious. Like, I've wanted to like stop people outside and like talk to them, but I didn't. I didn't want to be a creeper and get called the police. What was I gonna say? Oh, real quick, Lynn. Then we'll get to you. Nancy and Nick. Do you guys know each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes I lose track of who knows who and all that stuff. So like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, we got 2 Alabamians here on.
There's Alice.
Hi, Alice.
Hi,
Hi,
Alice in Dallas.
Hi, Alice.
Hi,
Hi,
Alice.
Alice.
I think Mary Jones is baking a cake as we
Oh yeah,
speak.
she's always. This is like the 4th. I'm not shitting you. This is like the 4th time that Mary's been here and she's been cooking something.
Baking a
She
cake?
was cooking blueberry French toast bullshit out in the AP one day. She was cooking 3 cakes for homeless shelter. She's just full of baking shit.
I'm making a very healthy dinner. I'm making zucchini noodles with some garlic and light Parmesan. And then I'm also going to be making fresh tilapia with herbs Provençance sauce.
Wow.
Yum.
All right.
Hi, Mary.
Mary, this may
Over.
be seriously in the, I don't know, 2 years I've been doing these streams. That may be the first PDA that we've had on screen. So just so you know, like that, I saw that kiss. I saw that kiss earlier.
Well, yeah, that was my husband. That's Mr.
I
Joe.
mean, there may have been stuff going on when you guys were off camera, but like I'm just saying, like on screen, that's first PDA we've had. So
Yeah,
I'm
work.
glad to see it. Going to work. Oh Jesus.
He works 7 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
He would second that and third that. But
yikes. We'll talk about that.
he needs to
All
save
right.
door, so we better go get Mama some money.
We got some more concerts coming up.
All right, Lynn Foreman.
Okay. I went on Friday there at a 12:30 show, and there was only 8 people, and 2 people were in my row. They were like in their 50s. The people behind me, I think they were in their 60s. They were chewing popcorn way too loud for me, but whatever. And then there was a couple guys like sitting, in the first 6 rows on an IMAX. I couldn't even understand it. And the reason I said I like IMAX is because the characters were right in my face. They played a half hour of too many previews. I've never seen anything.
Oh yeah.
And they were all
Yeah, it
animals,
was annoying.
and I couldn't, I had to shut my eyes. They were right in my face. But as far as the movie, that's back when I worked at CBS Records. So, I knew Al Teller and I knew the story behind Bruce and everything. And if you look in the Born to Run with Jeremy Strong playing John, he looks exactly like John Landau. He was very skinny back there. He had those black frame glasses. I mean, he played him to the T. Now he's larger, I'm larger too, but he's like larger. But if you looked in the book of Born to Run, he played really John Landa really well. And I liked how Scott Cooper did the black and white, and that little Bruce, even though he didn't have a lot of words, his eyes like were incredible. I love little Bruce. I didn't get that. I guess back then it was Bruce and Virginia, because when he was running through the grass, the whatever that maze was on Mansion of the Hill, it was only Virginia and
Pam was like
Bruce.
Pam's like 10 years younger than them. Virginia's a year or two
No, I
older
don't
than
think
him.
Pam was born yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. Pam was like 10 years younger than they are, or even more, like 10 or
Right,
12
right,
years.
right. And so I mean, I knew the story from reading Born to Run, but I knew the stories from people in the hallways and everything of CBS, telling me, I knew about Bruce's deep depression. And, when he flew back to LA to get his father, that was very emotional for me.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure it was emotional for everybody, but when his father said, "Sit on my lap," I almost lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, this two grown men, I don't know what Bruce weighed, but it was interesting. I don't know if that's a true fact, but
That's true. Like
oh, fabulous,
they
fabulous.
put two different incidences together, but they did have that conversation where Doug said, "Hey, you've been really good to us. I
Yes,
always wasn't good to you. Thank
yes.
you." And then he did have him sit. I don't know when it was, but he talked about that Doug had him sit in his lap.
I thought that was fabulous scene. And as far as Faye, it was, accumulation of all his girlfriends. But, Bruce wears that St. Christopher medal all the time. What does everybody notice that when he's in concert? Anybody? Because I can't see anybody. Ryan shaking his head.
Yes.
So I guess,
Yep.
my brother saw it. He's a big fan like I am. And he brought his neighbors. His neighbors didn't get it at all.
Interesting. Are
But
they weren't Bruce fans or anything? Like they were just
not
friends?
really.
Okay,
But
so
they
they didn't
got,
get
I
it at
mean, if
all.
anybody comes from an alcoholic family or mental depression, I would think that they would see this movie. What I'm a little bit upset about, it only made $16 million, 9 million in the US. And with all his fans and I'm seeing somebody ceiling, it's very lovely. Whose ceiling am I looking
I
at?
think that's Soonest. I think that's
Oh,
Nick.
okay, very nice. When you look at 16
No, it's
million
not mine.
and the movie and the
Oh
movie,
yeah, maybe it is mine.
oh, okay, it's very nice. And the movie cost 55 million, I don't know what they were looking for, but if you think 90,000 people, like Europe brought in more money, of course, but all the shows that, they hold 60, 70,000 people, I would think that they would go. What is your thoughts on that, everybody?
I don't think they're looking at it as like a blockbuster type thing. They're probably just looking to recoup their money back. But
Yeah, I don't.
it'd be interesting to see how long it's in theaters. Like, is it going to be a week, 2 weeks, a month? Like,
Yeah, and I also asked for a poster, but they didn't have one. Nancy, how did you get that cardboard Bruce? Hi, Nancy Barr. How did you get that cardboard Bruce?
I've had that cardboard Bruce for a
You
while
brought
for
it to
different
the movie
parties.
theater?
Yeah. I mean, who
she does
cares?
that. She takes it with her all the time.
Are you serious?
She's driving. She goes on.
Was
She
it
goes
sitting
on.
next to you?
No, I mean it's cardboard, so it folds up into a box at
Uh-huh.
it's about as big as a pizza box,
Yeah.
maybe a large pizza box. And so just when we got into the theater, I opened them up, and people came and took pictures with them.
Well,
Nobody cared.
come to Atlanta and bring him so I could have a
I
picture of him.
know.
But overall, I thought it was a great movie. I did not want it to end,
Mhm.
but we all know how it ends and everything. And I think, Patty knew about his depression, and if it wasn't for Patty to pull him out, I don't know, where he'd be, because he was on medication for a long time. So
Yep.
I give it a 5.
Without John and Patty,
Yeah, without John and Patty,
yeah.
yeah.
maybe he's not here today. We don't know. Who knows?
Well, also his kids are the same age now that Bruce was back when the move, in Nebraska days.
Jesus.
I would love to see a movie made of all the different stages. I mean, a movie just like, like that producer. I would love to
Mhm.
see one from the, the Born to Run that's based on the Jungle Land book.
Right.
The
I
early
read that.
stuff. I mean,
I read that he wants to do it.
I know that'd
Scott
be
Cooper,
cool. Yeah, that'd be cool to see like from each, the
from each era
various
or each album.
era. Yeah.
Yeah, he
But
said
I
he wanted
also,
to do it.
this was after the River Tour, and other people were saying no, it wasn't the River Tour. He had just come off the River Tour,
Yeah, they
then he
wrapped
did
up.
Nebraska.
Yes.
Yeah, they wrapped up in Cincinnati.
Right, exactly.
And then he had that time off. And then
Right.
he said in like the Broadway or in his book, he was talking about, they'd come off the tour and he'd be kind of lost as to, because, he's getting all this high from being on tour and
Mhm.
playing in front of all those people. And then it's like a switch flipped and you go from 90 to nothing.
What was that song when John and Bruce were sitting on the shag carpet? What song were
It's
they
called
playing?
Walk the Last Mile from Sam Cooke and the Soul
Oh,
Stirrers.
thank you. Mhm.
Yeah,
Nick,
there was a couple cool songs they threw in
Yeah.
there that, they weren't Bruce songs, but they totally fit the scene.
Winning, the Suicide Song, which Mary will talk about soon.
Mansion on the Hill.
The non-Bruce stuff,
Foreigner.
The
Oh.
Foreigner, I thought, took me right back to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nick, I have a theory on what you just said. So it hit me on Friday for some, like, I don't know why I was even thinking this, other than I had just listened to an Electric Nebraska on my way to the theater. So Born to Run, Darkness, The River, now Nebraska. The other three box sets, and they do the same things over and over again, whether it's where they go to tour, when they tour, like they do the same stuff over and over and over. All those three box sets had a remastered album, outtakes, or
And
what
the
little there was,
DVD.
and a documentary. What are we
Yeah.
missing in this? We don't have a documentary because there was no footage. I think Bruce and John orchestrated this whole thing. I think they approached Warren Zanes and said, "Hey, would you be willing to write a book about Nebraska?" And then they reached out to Cooper and said, "Hey, could you do a movie based on the book?"
Oh yeah.
And that's taking the place of the documentary for this
Yeah,
box
I
set.
think you're right. It definitely all tied in, the album, the electric release, the movie, it definitely all ties in.
It's all a
For sure.
package. I think they
Yep.
could do this going forward on every. They could do Born to Run, or
Yeah.
sorry, Born USA next. They can do Tunnel of
Yep.
Love. They can do whatever.
But what
Do you think-
about he's only had 2 guitar checks throughout his life?
Yes. What's his
Mike
face? Mike
and Kevin.
Kevin will be with him until one of them is no longer here.
Okay.
Do you think
Okay.
that Jeremy Allen White will still be playing Bruce, or they'll have somebody else?
Oh, I love Jeremy Allen. Oh, he
He's so
also
good.
wore brown contact lenses.
Contact, yeah.
And he also did play the harmonica, Ryan.
Well, there was a part there where he was doing one of the songs, and it was like his lips were not matching up with what we were hearing on the harmonica, but whatever. I mean, it's no big deal,
Okay.
but I didn't think he was.
Okay, well.
All right, let us go. So we've got Freddie, Sharon, Ann, Mary, Alice. Let's go with Ann next.
I liked it. I'm good.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. How many people were in your theater?
Didn't count.
Oh, okay. Lynn, what rating did you give it?
I'm giving it a 5 because I knew the backstory and I knew the gossip.
All right.
Well,
fair enough.
I was there when it happened, not when the movie happened back in the 80s.
And rating? 5 out of 5. Okay. We got Sharon, Freddie, Mary, and Alice. Let's go. Fred, go ahead.
Okay.
And just so you know, Fred and I talked about this. Some people may not like what Fred has to say, but hey.
So I read the book, and other than Darkness, it's my favorite album. So I had very high anticipation for it. Also, like everybody here, I am one half of the 1%. Recently, I saw him in 5 countries and 23 times in their most recent tour. So, um, in terms of the movie, I thought it was absolutely awful.
Okay,
Now,
wait. Are you
let
saying
me,
that? Are you delineating between being a fan and a movie guy, or are you just
I'm
doing?
just in I'm just kind of in my context is like that, like, I am a fan, but I'm also giving my opinion on the movie.
Okay.
Um, First of all, the Jeremy Allen White and Jeremy Strong were both very good, and the scenes with them were the best parts of the film. So
Agree.
the reason I feel so bad about the film is the number one of them is that the Faye character. I know that it was a composite of different women, and it was also kind of be the vehicle to show that he could not form any type of attachments and the kind of this distance. I never bought. I thought it was kind of shallow. I didn't buy it. The real issue I had that I really didn't like was the extensive using of flashback. Now, flashback is a very good tool to kind of give context and exposition of what's going on. But when you do it, it felt like it was done about 12 to 15 times about this issues he had with his dad. To me, it's like you're telling that the audience is stupid, that they don't know, they can't make that judgment for themselves. So I thought that was bad. I thought the screenplay was hollow. I had no emotional attachment and engagement in any of the characters. And the other thing, Ryan, which I said, like, as I thought about it a little more often, is sequencing of the movie. And I think sequencing is important. Is that to me in the movie is he comes off the road. All of a sudden he goes into the house. He watches Badlands, and I watched Badlands the day before I saw the movie. Sees Badlands and watches Night of the Hunter, comes up with the album, and then it's found if he has depression. To me, if you show the depression when he comes off the road and having to struggle with it, and then the creation out of the depression is the album, and then the last scene, which is very good with him as his dad, I think has more of an impact that way. So I mean, like I said, both actors I think were good. I didn't think they were given a really good script. I didn't like the idea of all the flashbacks. It made me think like an idiot. Like I can't tell that there's some kind of a problem between him and his father. And like I said, and the sequencing. So, I would give it a 2, Ryan.
2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Now, are you able to break? Because I've given it two different ratings in my head. I've given it one as like a Bruce fan, and I've given it one as a movie person. You're just saying flat out 2 out of 5.
I feel I can keep them separate. I mean,
Okay.
No bite.
Fred, I would agree with you.
And again, I just wanted to kind of maybe to clarify it or something or delineate it is like, it is a film and more than making a film is just more than the actors acting. And I have more problems in actually the film and the editing and the scripting of it than the actors acting themselves. So
That's why I was curious about who read the book before they went in it, because as usual, like I don't care if it's about Bruce or baseball or whatever. 9 times out of 10, you read a book, you're totally disappointed by the movie. I was disappointed in the movie because I think I read the book and some other things. But to your point, Fred, about the flashbacks, yes, I think they went 2 or 3 times too far to the well, maybe 4 or 5 of those possibly, but I think there was like 7 or 8 of those, and that was a little bit of overkill in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you could have told the story about the depression. I mean, the issues with his dad. You could have probably put that into one scene, and you could have probably carried that. It's like you could have figured out, even if you weren't a Bruce fan and you never read his book or anything. I think, one solid scene with the relationship with his dad, you could have summed that up pretty quick and pretty early. So yeah,
don't know
I
if
agree
this-
with Fred a little bit on that one for sure.
I don't know if this is, I think I'm okay sharing this. So I totally agree with Fred that I thought some of the language and some of the conversation was really trite in some parts, and I was disappointed in that. little Hollywood or something, or just a little bit too superficial for some of the script. I thought that John Landau's wife was like a waste of 3 minutes, like
Yeah.
character or whatever. But I'll say,
That's a
I
good
went
point.
to the movie. One of the friends who went to the movie is a survivor of childhood abuse, and she said that the story of survivors comes in flashbacks.
Yep.
That Bruce
Mhm.
couldn't sit down
Totally
and
agree with
say,
you.
"Oh my God, all this happened to me, and now I understand it all." Like
Interesting.
he understood it like a moment in time, and it took him a long time to see those things in his memory and to figure out, holy shit, this is really coming together in a way that I've got to figure out. So
So you
she
got to figure out where
thought
to
that
put
that
it.
was not just a movie maker device, which it may be, but also trying to share. She's not speaking for
Nancy,
Bruce, but trying to
That
share
totally
how
makes sense.
sometimes people remember things. Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
I agree. Like I said, my thing with
Yeah.
in terms of the flashback, I just thought it was too many of them. I think it's a good tool
Yeah, I don't know.
to help tell a story. But to me, if you like, even if you just did a couple, it just seems to me that maybe it could have been less than that. It seemed like there was like double digits. Like after a while, it's like, I know. I get your message. Why do you keep bombarding me with it? Like it's
Now I want to go count. I want to go count them when I see it again. Now.
It-
Well,
it
I'm going to
just
go see it
it-
again this week, so I'll count them.
Yeah,
It
see.
just personally to me, it was making me feel like I'm stupid, like I wasn't picking it up.
I
was-
don't
Yeah.
think that's what
No,
it was
I think
saying.
maybe it's because maybe people that aren't really Bruce fans, would maybe pick up on it. I don't know.
Hey, hang on. Comment by Norm here on Facebook. I'm trying to monitor two things. Norm says, at the end of the day, I thought it was well done by a standard of the day. There was no violence, no explosions, aliens, or wild fantasies or dystopia. We need more movies like, and I will agree. Like I heard Steve say a couple weeks ago when he got interviewed by Jim on E Street, like Steve said, like, kudos to 20th Century for doing this movie, greenlighting this movie, doing a small story that's not superheroes and all the bullshit that, is seriously, you go to a movie theater and it's either horror films or superhero stuff or like one-off movie. Like that's all it is. So kudos to 20th Century
And
for even
Stevie
doing it.
also said that that Paul played his dad really, really well because Stevie knew his dad.
He said it was spooky. He said, actually, I had goosebumps
Well,
watching Stephen Graham be
yeah.
him because there was
Wow.
no footage. There was no video. Like there was,
Yeah.
if there's anything, it's very little. So Stephen Graham had nothing to go off of, but
Right.
he totally had the thick arms and the thick legs and the thick torso. Like he just looked menacing. He looked,
Well, he
oh,
said
Mary is raising her hand. Okay.
Yes.
Mary Jones. Mary Jones has been very patient here.
Mm.
So we're going to go Mary, Sharon, and then Alice, and then I'll share my thoughts last.
So-
Mary, go ahead. It's yours. 5 minutes.
Oh, I just have a question for Fred.
Yep.
Sorry.
Wait. Time out. Who are you cooking for? Scott just went to work. How are you cooking dinner for two when you're only going to have one?
Well, I'll package it up.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Fred,
Yes.
would the flashbacks have made a difference to you if the start of the film was the end scene of where he's in the office with the psychiatrist?
No.
No, okay. I just wondered if that would have, because if they would have started the film with him, then it kind of goes.
No, I know what you're saying, Mary. And again, this is just my opinion, and I know I'm definitely in the minority of it. It was that to me there were just too many of them, and when I kept seeing them, it made me feel like the director Scott Cooper didn't think I understood the relationship and treating me like a dunce.
Right.
That's how I took it as.
I just wondered if, because contextually, then it may have presented with that rationale. So anyway.
Fred, can we give the Emmett Walsh award to Mike Batlin, Richard Hauser?
Oh God, yes.
Just the comedic relief. Like we needed that comedic relief, and I remember.
And Jimmy Iovine.
Oh yes, Jimmy Iovine and Mike Batlin. Jimmy, he's gonna do the folk album. He's gonna do the fucking folk album. That was fantastic.
That was it.
I thought Al Teller said that.
He's gonna do the fucking folk album. All right, Mary Jones, let's hear it.
Oh, oh, my thought.
Yes. No, we want to hear what you're cooking, the recipes, the temperature of the oven. Yes, we want to hear your thoughts on the movie. And just to preface this, Mary and I saw it on Friday, but she had seen it on Thursday, so she's seen it twice. I've seen it twice. Question for those who have already gone, raise their hands. Who will go see it again before it's out of the theaters? Ooh, okay, fair enough. So Mary saw it twice. Go ahead.
I'm gonna invite Fred to go with me.
I'm going to go back to the theater and try to get some posters because by next week, I think it's ending in the theaters by me. So I'm going to try to get some posters
I want one
Good
if you get
idea.
it.
because I don't think anybody around here is going to want one. They're going to end up in the dumpster. So I'm going to try to salvage some if I can.
Good on you.
Mary,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
So, yes, I had, I didn't read the book, but I did listen to the audiobook of Warren Zevon. So, just to distinguish, but I am familiar with the book. I can appreciate Fred's review with that. I thought the acting was very, very well done. For me personally, I'm more excited about Electric Nebraska than I am the film. And it's
Well, we're gonna talk about that after we're done with the movie. So
to me, so I didn't see that there or take it that there would be any Dora, stop that. Sorry.
for those of you that don't know Mary, she has a new puppy that's
Who's chewing
rambunctious.
cabinets right now. So I am not very happy at the moment because no. But look at her. She's like,
Oh, a little beagle.
A beagle.
on anything and get away with it. But no, you may not. No.
Why she loves you.
Yeah. So anyway, go chew on your bone. So I thought the acting was really good. And I did appreciate the soundtrack. Unlike Brian, I know you didn't like when Jeremy sang. But
No, what I said was,
thought it was
just to clarify, what I didn't like was they would use Jeremy and Bruce like almost trading lines, and it's like within the same song. It's like use one or the other. Like I don't care which, but do one or the other. To go back and forth so quickly between the two, it just didn't make any sense to me.
So
But that's just my opinion.
and I did enjoy when Jeremy Allen White was singing and so forth. So the love interest, I could have taken it or leave it. It didn't. I didn't.
Because it didn't seem true to you, or you just didn't care about that part of the story.
I'm not interested in that part. You know, I knew that he had a lot of different girlfriends, but to me that isn't about the making of there. When you listen to Nebraska, it does not come off to me like, oh, that's a guy who's non-committal. You know, that's not what Nebraska is to me. So it doesn't that love interest doesn't filter into the why Nebraska was made.
And I don't think that was even touched on in the book. I'd have to go back and read it, but I don't think that was even
No.
like a factor at all.
I mean, to me it was like I thought the actress who played the part was very good, and certainly she contributed to the story as a compilation of different lady friends, but I don't think she was essential to anything. With that, you said the little Easter eggs we were given. Though one for me was when him and John said, they're outside the studio after he comes back from California, and he's like, let's burn the house down. To me, that was so, that transformed me back to Ghost on the last tour, when that particular line, when he comes off of the main stage onto the thrust stage, and we leave no one alive. For me, I did appreciate all the symbolism that was in, that they gave details to. And then Fred, I'm interested in your thoughts on the cinematography of it. I thought to me, I really appreciated the cinematography, the angles that were, and how scene framed. I thought that was very good.
Mary, the one shot that really caught me, and we talked about this, was him as a little kid standing underneath the tree,
Yeah.
with the church temple, or the steeple up there, and the shot looking up, like it demonstrating how big in his mind the tree was as a kid. Like that was great.
And then in his room, the little army guys. So because so I thought that was all good. I'd give it a I'd give it are we going out of 5? Is it
5? Yeah.
I'd give it 3.5, 3.75 out of
Hey,
it.
did y'all catch that one little part where when Faye was talking about how the dad has pretty much abandoned them?
Yeah.
And then there was that one little line. It kind of led to that lyric, a man who abandons his family is no friend of mine.
Right.
So yeah, you kind of got that little snippet.
Yeah.
A non-Bruce fan would never pick that up.
Correct. No, but I thought, and then
Are you going to tell them your mind blower that you texted me this morning?
Well, I put it in the group, but and also Bruce showed up at the Pony tonight. Just an FYI.
He did?
Yeah.
I know. I was going to ask if anybody's having FOMO after seeing Howie's post about Bruce being there tonight.
So
well, I'm kind of double timing with y'all because Michael is videoing it.
Yep,
So
me
he
too.
did the
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Well, I could have gone. I was invited, and in the past I've done a lot of things with Teach Rock. So I mean and I'm just too busy. So can't dance at all the weddings. That's all I can say. So, but no, I thought.
Not everybody is on the chat, so maybe some people haven't seen what you had to say, but it was very insightful.
Yeah, so I went after, actually on Friday morning, I put on Electric Nebraska, but then I also, after seeing the film on Thursday night, I had dug a little deeper and I started listening to Suicide's album. Just first of all, the what's the song in the movie? It's
Johnny.
No. That's the song that I think is Mr. State Trooper. Frankie, what is the hell is the name of the one it's a 10-minute song on the album. That's when he's laying on the floor and he's listening to that song. Anyway, so I kind of did a little dive into listening to the Suicide album just to see, because that song that he was listening to in the film, I was like, oh my God, that's god awful.
I know. God bless you for listening to that.
It's painful,
Yeah.
and but also, I took it as symbolism of the pain that somebody feels with contemplating suicide, perhaps. So I kind of was like, looking into some metaphorical.
Frankie Teardrop.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, but then with regard to specific songs on Nebraska, I felt that the Johnny song laid the groundwork for Mr. State Trooper. And so I sent it to Ryan and got his opinion and stuff. And so it was
just like tapping on his chest to that beat. And it's like you hear that same beat in State Trooper.
Yeah. So, but it was
He was laying on the floor.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, boss, maybe don't play that on repeat, okay?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Was there a
Well,
murder in here?
yeah. Well, I mean, appropriately, are you trying to murder your past? I mean, so I think there was some clever metaphorical representations in there. But yeah, so
All
I
right.
would go see it again. I'll watch it when it comes out in streams, whatever, and might go see it again in the show. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't disappointed. I thought, Western Stars or the Letter to You documentary was, a little bit more, but I mean, I think I would have liked it to be a little bit more about, the lyrics and, those types of things. But
But
that's
that's
just
not
me.
what they wanted.
In
That's
the
not
No, I
how it
know,
was
I know.
around.
I'm just saying from my what
Okay.
would have made Mary Jones the geek at
Okay.
5. That's what it would,
Mhm.
again,
Yeah.
not, no disrespect. It's a good film, but
Mhm.
for me,
All right.
All
Fair
right.
enough. Let's go Sharon J, and then Alice, and then me.
Okay. I like the movie very much. I know Jeremy Allen White spent about 7 or 8 months learning how to play the
Mhm.
guitar, learning how to sing. And we all know that we weren't going to get 100% person that exactly acted like or looked like Bruce. We knew what we were getting. I thought Jeremy Strong was excellent again as the part of his manager. I didn't realize how much he really cared for Bruce, that he actually, I just really loved him at certain points and wanted him to get help when he needed to get help. I was also reading about his wife, who played his wife, John Landau's wife in the movie, was Meryl Streep's daughter.
Yeah.
So everybody
Gunner.
wanted
Wow.
to know that Gummer, and
Mhm.
she was very good as well. I hope people that wanted to see the movie that have mental issues, I hope this would have helped them a little bit to seek help if they didn't know that much about Bruce but heard about him. Uh, I really enjoyed the movie. I'll give it a 4. Okay, it wasn't the best thing I ever saw, it wasn't the worst thing I ever saw, but it gave me a lot more deep thoughts into thinking what probably was going on in Bruce's mind at the time. He was torn between his love life, his real life, not being able to communicate with his dad. The one scene where he was punching with his dad,
Ugh.
that made me I was cringing in my seat. I didn't know whether he was really going to hurt him or not. And then the last scene when he was with his dad, that's when I got all teary-eyed because I couldn't believe it was so bad that he actually never sat on his father's lap as a child. And that really got to me. But I enjoyed the movie. It was kind of dark at points,
Mhm.
but that's what the whole Nebraska thing was. And I
Sharon, what about Boom
recommend
Boom? What did Boom Boom think?
he liked it a lot also, but he's not a diehard fan as much as I
Right.
am.
That's why I was curious, like what he thought, because I know
Yeah,
he knows him, and obviously you've
right.
exposed him to
And he
stuff. I was just
supports
curious.
me and everything that I do, and I'll see the movie again, but I really enjoyed it. And I just recommend it to anybody who wants to really get into Springsteen. And like I had said before, I was also reading that Scott Cooper, we spoke about this before, wants to hopefully make more biopics like this to explain the life of Bruce and his genius mind.
Sharon, I agree with you. The moments for me that were most, I wish Adele had gotten more attention because we all know the Bruce Doug story ad nauseum. I mean, that's all
Right,
part of his lore. I wish she had gotten a little bit more screen time, more than just a character cut out
right.
cardboard. But the two scenes that got me were with his dad when there was two. He saw his dad coming. He went and sat on the stairs, and Doug just basically looked at
ignored
him and
him.
just walked on by. And then the second time was when Bruce like walked by and he's sitting there at the table and he's like, "What do you want?" Like that's all
Right.
he got from his dad.
I
Sit
know.
here, go wait
Nothing.
outside. What do you want?
Mm.
Nothing.
I
And
knew
to be fair to Doug, like the guy had schizophrenia, like he had some serious fucking mental issues in addition to PTSD from being in World War II. So it's not just Doug was his terrible dad, like he
He
had
was an
serious
alcoholic
issues.
also.
He had all
right,
kinds
right.
of stuff going on.
I didn't realize it was as bad as I had just seen it portrayed in the movie. I didn't really realize that it was really that bad.
You know, I don't know how many of our other people's fathers were in World War II, but very similar to Bruce's dad, my own father went to war when he was 16 years old. I mean, these are really young guys going and seeing horrible atrocities being committed on without any mental maturity. And, back then it was like, here, have some cigarettes and have a drink. And that's how you're going to cope with the inhumanity of this world, that you're going to drink and smoke it away and don't say anything to it, because then you don't have time to think about it. And coming back from World War II, there was no other than the watering holes, where maybe you have another guy who would sit there in silence because they know what you had gone through without saying what you had gone through. Is a silent brotherhood.
Yeah, there was no mental health back then.
No,
And
They didn't
no,
talk
and
about
they
it.
wouldn't.
They didn't even have
Never
the
talked
words to
about it.
articulate it. They never talked about it. Just
right,
put your head down, go to work.
Right.
Be the dad, be this. Like they didn't
Right.
even admit that they had a problem.
right,
And also years ago, they never talked about cancer. You never
Right.
heard about it. They didn't even say see or anything.
right,
Nobody heard about it. I found out years later that even relatives of mine passed away from it. My parents never talked about it.
right.
It wasn't
So, I
talked
mean,
about. I get
Therapy
it.
was always viewed that back then almost as a sign of weakness.
right,
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in men. That,
Mhm.
you just accepted it and you moved on. Like I said, unfortunately, it was viewed as a sign of weakness, and I'm glad
Yeah.
that myth has been taken away, so to speak.
right. But to the point where, Bruce not sitting on his dad's lap. The only time, growing up, my dad would say that he loved us is, pretty much when he was two sheets to wind and he almost was passing out,
Mm.
I mean, but that's how those men coped with it. And,
Yeah.
um, it's a shame, but I mean, the song, The Wish, when he says, if Pa's eyes were a window to a world so deadly and true, you couldn't keep me from looking, but you kept me from crawling through.
Mm.
So, to Ryan's point of maybe having a little more focus on Adele,
Yeah.
maybe she helped him a little bit more, coping with his struggles as best as he could, but also, realizing, just the dark hole that his dad was in. And, it's, I wish as a 58-year-old person, I could go back and, tell my dad, hey, I get it. I get it, but, back when I was growing up, I'm like, God damn it, he's just an asshole. That's because there wasn't any talking and so forth. And, I think there's a lot of people out there. I mean, that era of man that,
They
from
held
World War
it in.
II.
They didn't talk about it.
They
Right.
didn't
Mary,
talk about it.
Mary, to your point, I remember where I was exactly, and I was driving with my dad, and this is like when I first got serious hardcore about Bruce, like 15 years ago, and I was telling him the basics of Bruce and his dad and how that formulated a lot of his music. And I said, yeah, his dad was in the army. He came home. He'd sit in the dark, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. And my dad said, that's exactly how my dad was. Like my
Mm.
grandfather didn't drink. He didn't smoke,
Yeah.
but he would sit in the dark and he would not talk to anybody. and like I almost drove off the road because I was like, oh my God, like my grandfather Hillegas, who did not talk to me. Not that he was a mean guy, he just didn't talk. And that was one of the reasons. I was like, oh my God, he had PTSD. All these guys came home with PTSD and they just didn't talk about it.
Right. And he had so much mental illness on the Irish side of his family. I mean, his aunts, his grandmothers. Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. Alice.
All right, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. So I walked into it not knowing what to think, and I went with someone who didn't know anything about Bruce. So, at first it was like, oh my gosh, is it ever going to come on? We watched all these, headlining movies, and I'm like 30 minutes of that shit, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the movie. So what I thought was, it was hard. I walked away kind of like a wreck. Like I just wanted to be by myself and cry because I grew up with an alcoholic father and an alcoholic mother. So watching young Bruce come down the stairs with a bat, wanting to hit his father because he was accosting the mother, that to me was gut wrenching. I was just like crying, and I'm like, okay, when he didn't hit him, and his mother took him into her arms, and it was okay. So I got over that. And then we go to the hot lovemaking scene. Okay, Ham, if you're still on here, thought about you when this was on, because to me, that was probably one of the best scenes in the movie. It was very well done. And I'm sitting with a stranger, not that I know her, but it was to me very intimate, of Bruce trying to find something, not sexual in a way, but to heal,
Comfort.
if you will.
Yeah,
Comfort. Thank you. Yes. The comfort of that.
Alice, I'm sorry. Who did you go with?
Just a friend, a school teacher that I work with.
Who knew nothing about, she's not a Bruce
Who
fan,
knows
knows
nothing
nothing other
about
than, okay,
Bruce.
got it. Okay.
It was a 2-hour drive to the theater. I'm like, hey, do you want to go with me? I really don't want to go by
2-hour
myself.
drive to the theater.
Yeah, well, Ryan, you know where I live, in the middle of God's country.
That's true, but damn, I hadn't thought.
2 hours.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. But anyway, she went with me, and she knows I love Bruce. She's, I'll have WRJRH on in my classroom before school, so she knows what I like. But she has no idea about Bruce, and we hadn't talked about it. So I asked her what she thought. She thought it was a great movie for somebody who had no idea who really Bruce Springsteen was. She walked away saying that was really, really good. So, and I walked away thinking, oh my God, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. There were some really good parts about it, but there were hard parts about it. And I guess the point when you were saying about the tapping, when he was listening to the song about, the suicide song, that was tough for me too. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I want to see it again because I feel like I missed a lot of it. There are parts of it that I didn't understand that maybe I could get some more interpretation about. I love the scenes where we saw Asbury Park. Absolutely thought that was incredible. It was fun to look at that and think, oh, I was just there in August. It was fun to see everything. So was I ecstatic? No. Did I think parts of it were really well done? Yes. I loved the scene of Mansion on the Hill when he and Virginia were running through and, them having that, oh my gosh, one day we hope we have a big house. So, there were great scenes. Altogether, I don't know if it was great. Does that make sense?
It does. Like we talked about earlier with Faye, like I don't know what would have made it different for me. Like if they had showed like two girlfriends, I don't know. The actress was great, no question about her. She just seemed like a cardboard cutout.
Typical Jersey girl back in the 80s is what I thought.
But I love the fact when he's great with kids, obviously. Like he got down on her level when he was standing on the stoop and she's in the doorway. Like he knelt down and got at her level. When they were out on the sidewalk in the car, he got down on her level. Like those little moments like that really got me.
But the part that bothered me about that, Ryan, is like, oh my gosh, this little girl's going to get very attached to him, and he's going to walk away from her life.
I didn't
and that
like that.
To me was hard
because he couldn't make a commitment.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like
that
how
was a hard reality.
That was his way.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
like how he stood them up and they're waiting for
Yeah.
him to show up and then he never did. And I mean, being a
It's a
single
man
parent.
letting people down. But back, like you
Yeah.
all said earlier, men
Yeah.
did not talk about how they were hurting.
Right.
It wasn't to be known. It's just like his father sitting there drinking in the bar, and he goes in, and that was in his first book. When Bruce wrote about having to go get his father out of the bar, that was hard too. Parts of it were really, really good if you know the story, and parts of it were really, really bad,
It was
or not what I
uneven,
thought they would be.
just uneven, like really good moments
Yes,
and then some really
that's better verbiage.
cheesy,
Very
over
uneven, Ryan. Very good. Yes.
heavy-handed type stuff.
Mm.
On
That
the
was
the
And
the,
yeah,
the
on
line the line that really got me, amongst other things, I'll say some other things. When they're sitting at the diner and he's saying goodbye, I'm going to California. When she said, I thought you could be the guy that you pretend to be, I was like, oh my God, like knife through the heart,
That
like,
was
oh, ouch.
gut wrenching. Yes. But she wanted more, and he
Yeah.
could not give her more. I mean, he
Couldn't
gave
do it.
her
He
what he
wasn't
could.
capable of it.
Exactly. Exactly, Lynn. Exactly. What he
Mhm.
gave was what he could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
note
Sorry.
note to self on what Alice said about the previews. It's like I hadn't been to a movie in a long time. It's
Oh,
like you can go
that's
30. If it says it
And
starts
that's
at
an
three
actor.
o'clock, show up at 3:30.
if you go to an AMC, literally, I've taken the
Yeah,
kids to
that's
a
where I
thousand
went. Yeah.
movies. It's 30
Yeah.
minutes. It's 30
Half
minutes
an hour.
solid of
Oh,
previews.
It's
yeah.
I have
horrible.
not been to the
3 hours.
movies since 2012 into a
Oh
movie
my
theater.
gosh.
Shit. Wow.
So
That's a
I
long
was just
time.
like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
I haven't been since COVID. I don't know how many years that was. This is the first
Twice.
time I went to a movie theater.
Yeah,
mean,
we
I
just
was-
don't
Since
go.
I was
COVID.
prepared for the length of them because I've been to some movies with my daughter or stuff, but I wasn't prepared for the movies that they were previewing. I thought
Oh,
these
horrible.
movies have nothing to do with the
Right.
Springsteen audience, do they? I don't know. They
No.
just seem
Well,
real
And that's
lot
what
of
it
AI.
is.
Too. I was
No,
excited
they
about
play.
that.
They
Lot of
play
AI.
those previews. It was all
Yeah.
animals. Ugh, horrible.
AI, sci-fi.
Okay,
AI.
well, I'm
Yeah.
excited about Wicked too, at least, but that's all.
Mm.
Yeah, and that looked good. I
I
like.
wanted
I
to see
want to go
Wicked
see
too.
that in the theater.
Yeah, I'll go see that.
I'll
And
see
I
it.
was the only one left in the audience. They all left. I stayed to the last
Then
credit.
I did too. Everybody
Yeah.
else left. and I
Everybody
made
got
my
up
I
and
friends
was
watched
sit
like,
all
there
the
with
"Oh
me.
my
credits.
God, where are you
All the
going, you
credits.
8
Everybody else
people?"
got up and left. A lot of men got up to go to the bathroom and come
Yeah.
back.
But I
Oh,
actually wanted to see who had played his father because I did not know who was playing his
oh,
father.
did you ever
He's
see
Oh,
really
very
good.
good.
Adolescence? You
He's really
see
good, Alice.
Stephen
Oh,
Graham.
yes,
Adolescence was great. He was wonderful in that.
yes.
Stephen
Gotta say
Graham.
it.
Stephen
Yes.
I
Graham,
thought
he's
he was
phenomenal.
incredible.
Very
Yes,
good.
I agree,
That-
Alan.
Mm.
Yeah.
I walked away thinking that honestly, I thought he was almost the best one in the whole movie. Personally,
And-
I
And the
thought he
way
was a
they
great
made him,
portrayal.
they made him heavier at the end because
Yes.
obviously
Yeah.
he's older. And
that
how
was
they
good.
made him just look heavy all over was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
But I did not like who portrayed Adele. I didn't think she reminded me of his mother. I was very
Not at all.
disappointed in the casting.
She was
She was
much
tall.
taller than
She was
Adele.
taller. I
Yeah.
wish
Yeah,
they'd
she
just given her
wasn't his
more to work
mom.
with. She didn't
Mhm.
have much. She was just like
No.
background. Like I wish
Very
they'd given
plain.
her character more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with everybody.
All right, Ryan, I want to know what you think. Give me your words.
I will say on the previews, the only thing I saw that I looked interesting was the one with Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson.
Oh.
He's playing a Neil Diamond impersonator thing. That looks
I
pretty
didn't
good.
see that one.
I didn't see that one.
That
Oh, we
wasn't
didn't
on
get that
mine.
one. Yeah.
All right, here are my thoughts. I'm not going to say a whole lot because I'm going to go see it again and write something up afterwards so I can actually articulate my thoughts. I did scare the shit out of the poor 18-year-old sitting next to me because when they started doing Atlantic City, like the real Atlantic City at the end,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, really loud.
You didn't start singing, Ryan?
No, I did not sing. I did not sing.
Okay,
Our
I was
crowd
just
started
asking.
singing.
Just
trying to contain
asking.
myself.
Yeah.
I thought I have no issues with the casting. Like all the cast, including the smaller characters, were great. Mike Batlin had, the stand said that Mike Batlin was like a really small, skinny guy. So the fact he was played by, and Richard Hauser has always been very large.
Mhm.
He was just like, come on, can't you get somebody that's kind of like fits this
Right.
character?
Mm.
Whatever. The casting was great. I thought probably for me, the best actor in the whole thing was Jeremy Strong. He really nailed John.
Yeah.
His mannerisms, his dialect, his rhythm of his pattern,
Mhm.
him, okay, that's it. like we're done, everybody leave, like that, his mannerisms, his body language, like he had it nailed.
His voice.
Stephen Graham I thought was excellent as Doug. Didn't say a whole lot, obviously. He was a man of few words. Honestly, the first half of it kind of left me cold. Like,
Hmm.
I know this isn't doing much for me, but the minute he goes to the diner, and then especially when they're in the bedroom and John says, "Let's just listen to this," and he puts in that goddamn Sam Cooke song, like I started bawling like a baby. And then like the shot of the car leaving across the bridge and the overhead of them going through the country, I was like, man, they could have almost ended it on that, and that would have been like perfect for me. That Sam Cooke song, goddamn.
What about when he was driving, like almost to kill himself? That was scary.
I thought that was a little
That was
overhanded.
Weird. It was
Floored
weird.
it. Yeah, he floored it.
He
I don't
floored it.
know. Hmm.
I will say I love that car though, man.
Yeah, I like all the
that
cars.
The
I'm right on
Z28.
you.
oh
Wait, the
man, I would
Z28 or the 69, the green one?
both both
Okay.
of them were awesome.
Yeah.
The one that his friend drove him to California in,
Yeah.
but I really love that Z28. I've always had a thing for those ever since I
I
was a
was
little
just
kid.
glad that
So
I knew that he wasn't going to wreck the car. I was
Right.
thrilled that I knew that wasn't going to happen because watching, I'm like, oh shit, he's going to wreck the car. But I'm like, oh no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And nobody was on the road. Yeah.
No.
As a fan of Bruce, I would give it 4.5,
Yeah, that's
stars.
good.
Great. I'm glad it's there. I love it. I love everything about it. I know the story. To see it played out on screen, fantastic. As a movie person, I don't know, 3.5, 4 maybe.
See, but I went with somebody who didn't know anything about Bruce and she absolutely loved it.
Who said earlier that they went with somebody that Emily maybe and said their friends didn't understand it at all? Maybe you weren't on here earlier, Alice. So
Oh,
we've gotten both. The people she went with
right.
don't know Bruce and they had no idea like what they had just seen.
Gotcha.
But you're saying your friend loved it, so that's the beauty of this. It's the beauty of art. Like everybody can have their opinions. Everybody can, there's no right or wrong. It's how we all take it.
When
Claudia?
when I see it on this coming Tuesday, I'm going with a good friend who's a big Bruce fan, but just because of his music, she doesn't really know the inner, details of
The
Bruce.
story.
Like, yeah. So that should be interesting to,
Claudia, we want to hear your thoughts so at some point in time. So
okay.
when you're ready to share.
Oh, you haven't seen it, Claudia?
No.
No, that's
Oh,
what we
and
told.
and
We
we're
told
also
her. Well,
talking
she
about
knew
it.
that. I warned her. I'm like, we're going to talk about this whole thing. So if you don't
Oh.
want to hear it,
I don't care.
Oh my God. Okay.
I ain't here for business. I'm only here for fun.
hey, that could be a great lyric to a song.
Maybe we were born
Good.
to run.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of that, when she stuck her head out the window and the wind's blowing
hair.
back
Oh,
her hair, I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where that came from.
great.
Mhm.
That was one of the perfect Easter eggs for us.
Yes.
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple good uses of Winning and the Suicide Song, and there was 2 or 3 other songs where it was just like the perfect choice. For I do love, and Norm said this earlier, the fact that they let Bruce like sing Atlantic City at the end, like that was a really good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, what didn't we both think that it was rather a good a clever setup for when he said I've never had a new car before, and the guy says, oh well, the T-tops and the bucket seats, and
We know who you
and I
are.
know who who you are.
I
Right.
know who you are, Mr. Rock
It's
and
at least
Roll.
one of us,
Yeah, that was perfect.
yeah.
Oh, one other thing I want to say, I thought it was very ironic for anybody that knows who Mark Maron is and WTF. The guy's made a career out of being a stand-up comedian and a podcaster and done 15,000 podcasts. He was reduced to about 20, like he had one thing where he was really talking to Bruce and like, you recorded this on inferior equipment and like this is not what we can't do anything with this. The other times he was reduced to saying nothing and I'm like, dude, this is a guy that talks for a living and you got him saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to have seen Mark as like the psychiatrist at the end when he sits down because that would be perfect for Mark. But yeah, great casting. Like I have no problems whatsoever. Fred, did you have any issue with like the casting itself of
No.
anybody?
No, Like I said, I think Joy mentioned it earlier about From the Bear with Jeremy Allen White. I mean,
He was
he's
great.
got a lot of experience of playing a guy who just can't, a genius who can't really show his feelings and commit. So I
It's
thought
right, exactly. He didn't commit in the Bear. So he was right on to get him.
Exactly, Lynn.
Hmm.
Jeremy Strong is always good what he does. I thought he was great as Landau, like you said, Lynn with the glasses.
Hmm.
Um, Stephen Graham. Like I said, the actors were good.
Hmm.
Like I said, the Faye character. I think Alice, you're right. She did look. There was a lot of those girls like that in the '80s in New Jersey. Yes.
They were. I grew
Uh,
up with them.
again, the actors were good. I think the choices were good. Again, just in my opinion,
Hmm.
they weren't given a lot to say.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
question for those of you that have seen Jeremy. I've not seen Shameless, and I haven't watched The Bear. So for
Oh, the
those of you
Bear
that have
is
seen him,
good.
how would you compare his acting in those to
Mm.
this? I have nothing to reference it off of.
Mm.
He's very passionate about what he does. He gets into it a lot, and maybe that's
Mhm.
why they chose him, because of it was an emotional roller coaster.
Mhm.
He plays the bear, he has his highs, and when he plays the bear, he has his lows. And that's probably why Scott Cooper chose him.
No.
And
It's
Bruce
very
chose
intense,
Bruce
very
chose him.
intense.
So the story on that is, like when Bruce first talked to Cooper about this, he's like, "Hey, I want Jeremy Allen White to play me if possible." So Scott called him and said, "Hey, we want you to play in this role."
He
And
didn't know.
he wasn't supposed to tell him. So
Right.
and Jeremy was like, "No, I don't play, I don't sing, I don't play the harmonica." Like, "No,
Mhm.
you need somebody like, thanks for offering it to me. I'd love to, but you need somebody that's like has some musical background." Every week, Scott called him. Nope, 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 nope. This went on for like 2 months, and then finally Scott was like, "Listen, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but Bruce Springsteen himself wants you to play him in the movie." And Jeremy was
Mm.
like, "Oh, okay."
Was that not impressive that he learned to play that guitar in 6 months and play the harmonica though?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
had the same teacher that
Yes.
Timothy whatever
Chalamet.
Chalamet had.
Mhm. Just impressive to me. I
Very
was
impressive.
Very much.
He's incredible, I think, Jeremy Allen White. I always liked him.
Mhm.
And he had his arms beefed up. Did you notice that?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
And his shirt rolled
And his
up, and I'm
butt.
like, yes.
When they had
His
a butt
butt,
picture, I go,
yeah.
"Oh, is that Bruce's butt?"
You look good in jeans. You look great in jeans.
Yeah, yeah.
That was fun.
My
Yeah.
first thought was the band got short shrifted, but like, yeah, I was like, no, that's not what it was about. It wasn't about the band,
was
No,
but
right.
I
it
was
wasn't
glad
about
they
them at all.
didn't talk.
Yeah, because
I was glad they
they
didn't.
would have had to add like 15 or 20 minutes to even give them something, like to
Yeah.
introduce them. It's not,
Right.
that's not what it was about. So
But the guy who played Stevie and the guy that played Gary, they did a
Mhm.
good
They were
job, even
good.
though
Mhm.
they didn't talk.
Right.
Alice, it's funny you say about Gary. I was talking with Ryan earlier, and I'm sure they saw videos of the early band when he was playing. But I'm saying like the Gary talent that I've seen recently never moved that much and had so much basically body gestures that this guy had in like basically a few minutes on screen. So I thought it was interesting.
Oh,
But
I
the young
agree
Gary
with you,
Talon
Fred.
did dance
Yeah.
and
That's
a
what I'm
whole
saying.
lot more.
Like
He
I said,
moved a whole
I know
lot.
that was the case. I just found
Yeah.
like just seeing him now.
Yes.
It's like
You
that's
would
the same
never
guy.
know.
When
They
You would
Bruce was
never
singing,
recognize him.
yeah, when Bruce was singing at the Stone Pony, I thought at first it was with Southside Johnny, but that
That's what
wasn't.
I thought too,
Yeah.
but it was the
I thought it was
Cats.
Southside, but it wasn't. It was Cats on a Smooth
Right,
Surface.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going, I thought it was Southside, and I was
Me
waiting for
too.
some kind of, this is
Some
Southside, and they never said
It
it.
didn't look like them and it didn't
Well,
sound like
I
them,
And
but
think
and the billboard said the Cats.
yes.
cats on a
Cats,
smooth
right.
cats on a
Right.
smooth surface or
so,
so,
Right,
cats
so what
right.
happened to
something.
that band? I didn't know anything about the Cats. I don't
Neither did
remember
I.
them.
They were like the
80s
bar band of the Stone Pony, like in the
of the
80s.
They were
80s.
like the house band.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And
Wow.
they
I
never went anywhere, Fred. They just did the
they were
Stone
No.
just
Pony.
big. They were just big down the shore. But I believe Patty sang with them frequently, and also Bobby Bandera came from there as well.
Wow.
And when Steven left the band for Born in the USA, there was thought that maybe he would come in to replace. So like
Right.
they were very well known in that area, but it just never became something nationally.
Interesting. The
Yeah.
Two of the members of Greta Van Fleet were the guitarist in the movie.
Interesting.
On Sirius Radio today, Jeremy White was singing a song. I don't know what song it was.
You mean on E Street?
Oh,
On
I'm
Sir-
sorry, on E Street Radio today.
He was singing.
I
Well, because
don't know
I
what
think
he
they're
was singing.
releasing a soundtrack with him singing all the songs. I think. I don't know that for a fact, but I think
They are
that's the
releasing a
case.
soundtrack. I don't know how well it's going to do at all, but
Well, Claudia, I hope we didn't ruin anything for you. I
Not at all.
purposely did not read any reviews whatsoever until Friday morning. I read the Tribune review. They gave it
Yeah.
2.5 stars out of
Ooh.
4, and the person I
Gotcha.
read, I don't think was really a Bruce fan. Not that that matters. So as a real critic, just watching the movie, 2.5 out of 4, which
So Claudia, I'm going to be interested to hear what you think about it after hearing all of us
Right.
talk
Yeah.
and then watching it to see if you have a totally different perspective of it.
Yeah, this kind of will add to my experience, I think.
Well, you might be enlightened to look at
Yeah.
different things. Yeah, I can't wait to hear.
Yeah. Thanks.
Ryan, what rating will you give it?
he gave it a 3.
I said as a Bruce fan, 4.5 out of 5.
Mhm.
As a movie person, just it's hard to make that cut. But in my mind,
Oh,
as a
there
movie
goes the puppy's
person,
face.
maybe 3.5 out of 5, maybe.
What do you think? How long you think it's going to run for? Any
Well,
predictions, Fred? Anything from
the
you?
way it works, like there's not a whole lot out in the theater, so it may run for a month. Like maybe they're trying to get it through to Thanksgiving. I don't know. Fred?
Fred?
I'm thinking 2 weeks.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
I mean, normally,
right.
once you get right around Thanksgiving and it's only a couple weeks away, you start getting to award season, and a
Mhm.
lot of the theaters want to give those screens to some of those possibly award films.
Well,
So,
they have to play it through Thanksgiving because they're going to be not. I know they're somebody, 2 people are going to be nominated. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but it's going to have a nomination.
I could see Strong getting a
because
nomination
I
for
would-
I could see
supporting
it.
actor.
I think Jeremy Strong has a real good
Yes.
a chance of getting it. Again, I don't know how many actually in terms of the theaters, but how many screens it's on. There could be some, for example, if you're in a theater and there's 2 screens of it, showing it at 2 screens, they may pull one after a week or 2 and still keep a screen maybe up until Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But I think eventually they're going to have to rotate him into some of the other films coming out.
Amir, who is watching, says cinematography 8 out of 10. I would agree with that. Like the cinematography, I thought was really good. Norm and Liz, I want to see what your comments are. What would you rate it?
And did Bruce sing tonight, or he just showed up? Does anybody know?
He sang.
He
sang.
did.
He did with Stevie.
Iceberger is there. He
Yeah.
could tell us all about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or go back and look at Mike Frangipane's streams.
Oh,
Mike's
it's on
right
there.
Is
Okay.
Mike there
I
streaming?
was half watching it and they did 3 songs. They did I Don't Want to Go Home and I think it was Hungry Heart or Glory Days. Oh, it's 3 of them.
Was
And
did not Clarence, Jake, he was there. Did he play?
I'm not sure. I didn't notice Jake because I couldn't really see all that great because I was half watching us and half
Okay.
watching that. But it sounded from what I heard, it was going to be a lot of people from Little Steven's Disciples of Soul. Like I think Eddie Mannion was one of them listed.
Oh,
It
wow.
was more Disciples of Soul, I think, than E
Oh, okay.
Streeters. But
I think Eddie and Barry were there. 10th Avenue Freeze Out.
I wish they would film it and let us see it.
Cheryl
Yeah,
says
that'd
10th
be
Avenue
cool.
Freeze Out.
Because I
yeah, I
want
would
to
have
see.
liked to see the whole event where Howie and them got honored.
Yeah, I
and
wanted to
Yes,
see
they
that
did.
part.
hopefully somebody will post it. I'm sure somebody
Howard
recorded
was
it.
live today for the parade for a little bit.
Yeah,
I
Howie,
saw the
because
parade. It
Freehold's
looked like
opening
fun.
up a museum. Freehold.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been talking about that for like 5 years.
Yeah, but
Are they
now
actually doing
now
it?
it's going since
Oh, it's actually
2019. They've been speaking about it, but now they're doing it. At the firehouse.
Right.
Ryan, who did you ask on you said on Facebook you were asking somebody?
I was asking Liz, and there's about 5 or 6 people on here
Are they
that are
saying
not
anything?
on.
We kind of derailed.
Yeah. Anybody else have any? I really like the film. I thought some things weren't necessary, but I thought 4.5. Oh,
Who was that?
Liz, tie it
Liz?
up. We don't listen to
I'm
what she
surprised
says.
she's not at
We always
the,
listen to Liz. Come on, she's my bestie. We listen to Liz.
Oh, don't, Alice. I don't care what Liz says about you. I like you.
Oh,
I'm
I'm so
surprised
glad.
she didn't go
kidding.
to Stone Pony.
Yeah, she
Nah.
lives so close down there.
I would rate the film 5 out of 5 on current competition. I was a coach and always consider competition.
Who's that?
Norm.
Norm.
Norm says not the greatest film of all
Yes.
time, but super solid 4.5 or 5.
He always is so positive about stuff like that. That makes me laugh.
And just so everybody knows, Fred and I talked about this because Fred and I both saw a movie called One Battle After Another. He gave it a 5. I gave it a 4.5, but I don't give anything a 5, so my rating system is kind of harsh, but that's just me.
It's probably because I never went to the movies in 5 or 6 years. That's why I gave it a 5.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys were like amazed at the previews. I'm like, that's just standard stuff. But yeah, if you haven't been for a long
Not for
time, like you
half
don't know.
hour.
Oh yeah,
Good
that's
God,
standard.
Ryan, I didn't think that ever fucking end.
I was
AMC
like,
is awful.
I thought I was in the wrong theater.
I was wondering too. I get it, Liz.
I was too. Not too many people.
My 8 people, I thought they might all leave and be
Back in the day, I mean, I have seen a lot of films, but back in the day, I used to look forward to the trailers.
So did I, but this was too much in IMAX.
Well, plus now you get all the trailers on like Facebook and YouTube,
Yes,
and
yes.
you know, you
no
don't.
surprise.
You used to only
Yes.
see what was coming if you went
Right.
to the theater.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And my
right.
ticket was $20. I go, I'm a senior. Isn't it $8?
Mine
Where you
was
been,
18.
lady? Where you
Not a-
been, lady?
Not an
18.
IMAX, not an IMAX, Lynn.
Hey, speaking of trailers, there was two
How
things
much was
missing.
it?
There was
in
two
other
things missing out of the
places?
film that they had shown in trailers before, and I'm like, one of them, I was like, that's like kind of critical to the movie. One of them was he had a whole spiel where John's talking to the executive, and he's like, when Bruce was a kid, there was a hole in the floor, and he's gonna fill
Oh,
in that
right.
hole, and
The
then he's
hole
gonna
was
fill in the
gone.
hole in the world.
Yeah.
Where's that? Like that would have been perfect for
That
the
was not there.
Probably cut it.
Why
Yeah,
was
that's
there a hole
Ryan,
in the floor
Ryan?
anyway?
what?
So
I'm
the heat
thinking-
could go from the kitchen up to his bedroom.
Yeah, he always talked about that. Like that's how the heat got up from the
Oh,
kitchen
and
into his
oh,
bedroom.
I see. Okay.
So he could hear evidently his dad
Turn down that fucking
getting
guitar.
yes.
Oh, right.
But his dad was
Oh,
drinking and there was no lights on with the cigarette burning, but he
Yeah.
could see his father's lit cigarette from his bedroom.
oh, okay.
Is it
Thanks.
a true
Ryan,
story? Is
a
it
lot
a
of
true
times-
story that when Bruce was sleeping one night, his father was so aggravated with him because he was playing the guitar and he had long hair? Did he cut his hair off at night?
Yes, I heard
Yes.
that
Is that
too.
a
He
true
did.
story?
Yes,
That's
I
true.
believe
Well, it's in
it
this
is.
one book. It's in that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
in the book.
born
Fred?
in the USA, right?
Yeah.
Hang on, Fred,
Yeah,
you had a
okay.
question?
I was just gonna say real quick that because you said in the trailers, a lot of times, when the trailer is done or right before a screening, they'll have like different focus groups, and they'll ask them different questions. It could very well have been
Oh,
that when somebody looked at it, it's like that doesn't make any sense. Like we know again, the whole
Gotcha.
idea of a trailer is, I mean, we were gonna go see the movie any of the first weekend, and we did, but just for the general population, is to bring them into the theater.
gotcha.
And they probably looked at or talked to people and said that's not helping people come into the theater.
Oh,
Right.
hey, producer Pam is not here. She's not feeling great, but Pam saw it 2 weeks ago at one of the premieres, and then she and Fred saw it. What did producer Pam think?
She thought it was okay.
So she wasn't bowled over.
No, but I mean, she liked it a lot more than I did. But I would say she was probably in more of what Ryan, like what you had said.
Did she say anything about seeing it a second time? Like changed anything, or she missed anything, or anything
I
like
mean,
that?
the only thing like that she said was like that because we didn't really talk about it after she saw the at the film festival because I didn't want to know anything.
Right.
But she was like saying like after she came out, she wasn't wowed, and obviously she thought she was gonna be.
Got it.
Hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Ryan,
Wait,
what was
so
the second scene that we thought about that yesterday, but I forgot about it today.
Right.
okay, so
What was the
I
second
I kind
scene
of
you
compare
saw?
it to I saw Broadway twice, thankfully. Many people didn't see it at all, but I got to see it twice.
Oh, I loved it, bro.
I saw it once.
The first time I was so amped up because that was my first time to New York. I traveled, I was tired. Like it was pins, you could hear a pin drop in the theater. Like everybody was like this. So the first time, like I loved it obviously, but the second time I was able to enjoy it and breathe, and he was kind of in a different space. He was having a lot more fun with it. That first time, like he was so fucking intense, it made us all intense as listeners. The second time yesterday, I was able to enjoy it more because I knew what was coming. I was kind of trying to look for other things that I had missed. So I'm gonna go see it a third time just so I can see if there's anything else I miss and see if it
Yeah.
gives me another
So
level
did
of
you like it better
appreciation.
the second time, Ryan?
Yes, yes.
So it's a
The f-
definitely go see again.
yeah, the first time was because Mary was there. That threw me off. But no, she's not
Why
on
were
there. I
you
can't
looking
give
at
a shit.
Mary the whole time?
She was sleeping. Are you kidding me? She was fucking sleeping over there. Uh, no, the second time I was able to just sit and enjoy it because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I was able to enjoy it more, like watch the
Yeah.
performances. Really,
Yeah.
really for me, the film boils down to two things: him and his dad, and the little moments that they had, and him and John together. Like, man, the love that they have. This is something I thought was interesting. John is maybe a year or two older than Bruce, but in my mind, I think
He's
Bruce has
old.
always looked at him like
He
he was
looks
his
so much
dad.
older.
Like he was his
Yes.
dad, not his
Father,
brother,
right.
but his
He had
dad.
his
Like he
father
was,
here, yeah.
John was the complete opposite of his own father, and I think he
Right.
always looked at John as like his father.
But it
And
gave me
remember, he
so
was a
much more
writer.
respect for John. I
Yeah.
never realized what that man has done for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not career wise, but as friendship, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Friendship.
He really
Yeah.
loved
Yes.
him. He really loved him.
Oh,
Yes, exactly, Sharon. I mean, the true bond that they had was not about making money. It was about that true friendship. And I love that. I
yeah.
didn't
Which
know
they
it.
still have today.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you can see it
Yes.
when they're together,
Yeah.
they sit next to each other, like you can feel that
I
from
wish they
between
would
them.
adopt me. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I have not read this book. I mean, other people have read this book years ago, but The
I
Mansion
never
on
read
the
it.
Hill,
What
What
is it?
is it?
What is it?
The Mansion on the Hill.
Yeah,
Oh,
What
a
is
good one.
that?
Who's that?
What is
Fred's
that?
probably read it.
I think I
It's
read that a
about,
long time ago, Nancy. What is it about?
yeah, I mean, the only reason I brought it back up is because in this book, it talks about how John Landau was such an old soul, even as like a college student. And some of the stuff he did in Boston with artists who were trying to play the Boston circuit, even bigger than Chicago at that point, but not anymore. Anyway, this was really good about, I thought, Landau and how he and
Mansion on-
Springsteen first hit it off.
Nancy, I think I remember
The movie
reading that, and it
yesterday
was
assumed that
sorry.
everybody. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like we're all saying, yesterday's movie, everybody assumed that partner.
Oh, going in and out.
Oh, Nancy, we lost you.
Oh, we lost you.
Oh no, I wanted to hear what she
I
had
want
to
to hear what she
say.
had to say.
The book, I did read it a long time ago. It's basically it's kind of critical about the relationship between John, Bruce, Dave, Rolling Stone, the fact that it was kind of incestuous to some degree.
Well,
Like
he
Dave
wrote he started out being a writer for the
right.
Rolling Stones.
Well, he started out as for Stone, and then Dave was with Cream, and then Dave was with
Right.
Rolling Stone. But it was kind of like this incestuous look at that whole situation. Nancy, damn it, Nancy, we wanted to hear what you. Oh, there she is. Go ahead, Nancy.
What did you just say?
Go ahead.
Sorry. We're having a terrible thunderstorm here, which shouldn't impact anything, but it still seems to. So it's coming your way, Lynn. It'll be there in about 2 hours.
I know. Thank you. All week we're going to have it in Atlanta.
Nancy, finish what you were saying about the book.
Oh, no, I just thought it explained a lot of John Landau as a young man and how he was just an old soul, even when he was 20. And he understood
So how did they meet, guys? I don't even know how John and Bruce met.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great story.
Yeah.
John had written a review in the Boston newspaper.
They saw the
It was on the
Right.
glass outside the theater that Bruce was playing at, and Bruce was like literally standing there reading it, and John and Dave were there, And John walked up to him. He's like, "So, what do you think?" And Bruce is like, "Hey, he's pretty good. He's got some good stuff." And John's like, "Well, I wrote it." And they kind of start talking, and they start just talking
Mhm.
about music and whatever. And then from there, Bruce would call John. John would call Bruce. They just talk about records. They talk
Right, and
about
he was still
whatever.
with Mike at the time.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
So it's
right.
just kind of they probably would have met anyway, but it was actually kind of a funny story about how they literally met for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nancy, I
Wow.
agree. For anybody that's out there that's a reader that's interested in Bruce, Mansion on the Hill is Nancy. I was saying when you were kind of paused there, if I remember right, it was kind of critical about how John, Dave, Bruce, Rolling Stone were kind of like incestuous to some degree.
Some
So it's
degree.
not overly flattering. Like the writer's taking some pretty big digs at them. But it's interesting.
Yeah, it's dense. It took me a long time to work through it. You have to really want to know that level of detail with the
Norm, it
beat.
wasn't a fanzine. It wasn't it was called the Real Paper. That's the art. That's the paper that it was
Yeah.
published in.
Where was the mansion on the hill when they went there with little Bruce and Virginia?
I think it was literally on the outskirts of town in Freehold.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
He's
Freehold?
he's talked about that. Yeah, Doug would just
Yeah.
go out riding and taking the
Okay.
kids, and it
That
was on the outskirts of town.
that
Oh.
that Jungle Land book that came out recently, they talked a lot about how Bruce and John kind of met up, or kind of the connection there early on. That book,
It's a
talked
good
about
book.
it in length. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good book, Nick. Highly
But
recommend it.
I'd love to read a book all about like John Landau, like if he did an autobiography, kind of like how Bruce did one. I'd love to read his just to get his perspective on everything from, way back when. He's definitely an interesting guy.
All right. Well,
That was fun.
thanks. That was
That
fun.
was fun.
This was
Claudia,
good. Thank you all.
we want to hear what maybe next weekend you can come on the stream and give us your
Oh.
thoughts.
I'll chime in after I see it.
My friend Julie Shore is going to go see it tomorrow with another lady she's friends with in Cleveland, so she's going to call me tomorrow. I talked to
And
two.
me and Ann are gonna finish watching the Packers stinking up the joint in
Oh,
Pittsburgh
okay.
tonight.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely, Nick.
It
Who's
keeps
Anyway,
winning?
going, guys. It's not looking good.
y'all have a great night. I got to roll here, so
Yep.
we'll talk
I
to
gotta
y'all.
roll.
See you, Nick.
Yep.
Nancy,
Bye,
thanks for
y'all.
joining.
Bye.
Bye.
You.
Claudia, let's talk and let's have you on maybe next weekend, Saturday or Sunday.
Sounds good.
We'll figure out the technical side of it.
Alrighty.
Freddie, thanks for your time. Sharon J, Alice, Lynn, thank you for your
I
time.
enjoyed it. Great
Glad
to
you
see
did this.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
It was fun.
Bye,
It was-
everybody. Take care.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye,
Nice
Nancy.
seeing you all.
Have a
Bye.
great week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Fred, I just saw the first episode of Scorsese last night. It's
Uh-huh.
good. For anybody watching, if you have, it's on Apple. The shocking thing is, Fred, I had to go digging for it. Like I thought it'd be on the main screen, the landing
Yeah.
page. I had to go digging for it, but it's a 5-part series about Martin Scorsese, by Rebecca Miller, who is married to Daniel Day-Lewis and is the daughter of Arthur Miller, the playwright.
And she's also a filmmaker as well.
Fred, I thought it was so funny. Are we rolling? You gotta say cut. We need a board. Like she's like, no shit, Marty.
The
Like, thanks for
clapper,
telling me.
yeah.
Thanks for telling me that I need to do the clapper. I'm a director myself. You don't need to tell me how to do this.
If you're a fan of his work, it's well worth your time. I've watched 4 out of 5.
I was floored. I had no idea about the priesthood and the Catholic. Like I knew he was a Catholic, but the fact Martin Scorsese wanted to be a priest, he like went to actually the seminary or whatever I don't know what you call it, but he
It's a
was
seminary.
wanted to be a priest, and they're like, no, he spent too much time watching the girls as they walked by. The the head guy called the parents, were like, no, he's got to go. You got to get him out of here. I watched Task for anybody that has HBO. If you're looking for something to watch, Task.
Task is
Fred and I watch it. Sharon, you watch it.
I watched the first couple of episodes, but then I went back into The Diplomat, which I just finished, which was really good.
Diplomat.
Claudia, you
Who's
should
in
watch
that?
it.
Who's that?
With
Who's
Kerry
in that?
Russell.
Diplomat.
Wait, has that been on for a long time?
So the third year. It's almost like a West Wing kind of thing with Allison Janney playing the president. It's very good. Kerry Russell is in it. You'd like it.
Interesting.
All the stuff that goes on in Washington DC.
Well, used to go on. We don't know
Used to
what's
go
going
on.
on right now.
That's true too.
Okay, so
All
I
right,
just thought
friends, I'm
for
gonna
for
jump
anybody.
off here.
Okay,
Have a great
Alice,
evening.
thanks for joining.
Bye, Alice. See you
Thanks,
soon.
Bye,
love you
Alice.
all.
Have a
All
good
right.
night and a
Thank you,
good week.
Fred.
You
All
too.
right. Bye,
Bye.
Fred.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Claudia. Sharon J, thanks for stopping
Bye.
in.
Okay. See you
Freddie?
tomorrow.
Yes.
Sharon, Sharon,
Yes.
are you still going to listen to the movie show, or did I just screw the pooch in that one as well?
No. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I won't
Okay.
hold it against you.
Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
All right. See you, Sharon.
Okay. See you soon.
Freddie, is
Bye.
there anything
Good to
else
see you.
come?
Have a
Fred,
great
is there
week.
Thank
anything
you,
coming out?
Ryan.
Thanks,
Thank
Sharon.
you. Bye-bye.
What's that?
Fred, is there anything coming out in the theater anytime soon that you want to see?
Oh, well, it's not on the theater. It actually comes out on Netflix on Wednesday. It's the new Colin Farrell movie called The Ballad of a Small Player, directed by Edward Berger, who guy did Conclave and the All Quiet on the Western Front, been nominated for 2 Oscars back-to-back years. Though I haven't heard that the movie is good. I heard that Farrell is good in it, about like an addictive gambler. And then the following week, it's playing right now in at the Paris Theater in New York, is Guillermo del Toro's version of Frankenstein with Oscar Isaac and Christopher Waltz and Mia Goth. That looks, the cast, it looks interesting.
Wait, I just saw a preview today for a movie that's like it's Mr. and Mrs. Frankenstein. It's
No,
got
that's the one coming in. No, that's coming in early 2026. That's with Jake Gyllenhaal, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
so
No,
we're
this is
talking about
this,
two totally
yeah,
different
yeah.
movies.
This is
Okay.
Guillermo del Toro, the guy who did In the Shape of Water and but other things. His telling of Frankenstein, where I think Oscar Isaac is Dr. Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi is the monster. I think Mia Goth is in it. Christopher Waltz is in it.
Hmm.
So that looks interesting. The next like big, I would say, Oscar movie is, I know in November, Jay Kelly is gonna have a limited
Oh yeah.
run
Sandler
with,
and Clooney.
yeah, and then also the one that is probably also gonna be nominated like other times for Best Picture. I don't know how many theaters we're gonna see it. Is Hamnet is supposed to be very very good, which
Hmm.
is the story. It's with who is in it? It's with Paul Mescal and Jesse Buckley play William Shakespeare and his wife and their son Hamnet, who passes away, and from that and other things, I guess he creates Hamlet,
Hmm. Interesting.
and that's supposed to be very good. The Knives, then the third installment of Knives Out comes out in December. That'll be on Netflix.
That's a good series. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that looks some of the trailer for that looks interesting, but yeah, there's just a lot of small things coming. Um, I'm not sure if there's any other really big TV. I know Amazon spent a lot of money developing it, and it's with I forget the name of the woman mystery writer whose character is Kate Scarpetta. She's kind of like from the what Nicole Kim is playing. I can't, if I heard her name. I apologize. I forgot her name. The author, but Patricia Cromwell, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Where she has a character, Kate Scarpetta, and that's supposed to be a show that's supposed to be. I thought it would have been released already on Amazon. Maybe they're gonna wait until December or Thanksgiving to have it run. I'm not sure.
I thought about you the other day. I was listening to Mark Maron's on his way out the door, so he's kind of just interviewing whoever he wants, talking about whatever he wants. But him and Tracy Letts are kind of friends, and
Yes.
Tracy Letts was talking about being in Lowdown. He was also talking about being in the House of Dynamite. And what's the director's name is Bigelow, Kate Bigelow. I guess he said it's like all military stuff. Like all the dialect is military stuff. He has no idea. And he said it's incredibly hard. He's been an actor for 40 years, but he said it's incredibly hard to like get that memorized. So they were doing their first couple scenes and he would like look at the computer screen, but then he'd look down and the assistant AD came over and said, Kate wants to know why you keep looking down. He's like, dude, I'm trying to look at my lines. Like, I can't remember my lines.
Again, I'll be interested in your take on it. I'm gonna watch it again. I liked it. I know I've seen some people talking about it, and it is something that came across my mind in terms of how it ends. Is a little bit not satisfying, but there's a particular reason why.
Okay.
And I'll let you see it, and then
Yeah.
we can talk about it more. Um,
I watched the first episode of Lowdown. Like it's funny, it's violent, he's bloody, it's serious, hard hitting type stuff, but it's good. Like I'm gonna
it
keep
just
rolling with it.
because we talked about it even a little bit on our show today. We're talking about it's all it is now it's just IP. It's just comic book stuff and
Oh, yeah.
animated. I mean, nothing is original, and the Lowdown is original. And like I said, sometimes it's not it's a formula. Maybe it's forgotten or people don't want to spend the money for it or whatever. But if you get good actors, giving them really good dialogue, people will turn in. Storytelling still, if you tell a good story, it will find an audience.
And I like it's based in Tulsa, so it's not like New York, it's not
Yeah.
LA, it's not whatever. It's like a different locale. It's got some
Yeah.
grittiness to it, so it's good. I'm
Like
gonna
I
keep
said,
rolling.
I need to catch up on on the last two. I'm a little bit behind, but I've been a big fan of it.
Did you watch Mr. Goodbar, or had you watched it, or had you watched it again?
I haven't watched it. I probably the last time I saw it is when I saw it in the movies. Like
I
in
thought you said it was one of the Keaton movies that you wanted to rewatch
yeah, I
because of
know. I probably will. It just got lost a little bit. But I will plan on watching it. Over why in November while I'm off from work, I'll watch it. I mean, like I said, I saw it in 70 when it came out in 77. That's maybe the last time I saw it.
Okay. I
Um,
rewatched Annie. I think I told you I rewatched Annie Hall the other night just because it was on and
I
I was
found
actually
I
going to the
found
theater.
I found the DVD of Annie Hall that I probably kind of want to watch again. Um, also starting I think on Thursday or Wednesday is that show from also the creator of Slow Horses, Mick Herron, down Reservation Road with Emma Thompson and
Hmm.
Ruth Wilson. Looks very good on Apple.
Okay.
And then the new, I guess, sci-fi show from Vince Gilligan, the guy who did Breaking Bad,
Pluribus. Yeah.
comes out the first week in November, and some people say that could be very, very good. It's not Breaking Bad, but it's probably
Well,
more closer maybe to the X-Files than Breaking Bad.
unfortunately for them, like it's got Rhea Seehorn. They hear Vince Gilligan, they're going to think
Yeah,
it's one thing, but it's not. It's totally something different.
which is nice. Again, like I said a few minutes ago, it's nice when people take swings and try to do something original. Sometimes it's not going to be good, but at least you take a swing.
Okay, so now that I've kind of put this is just my theory,
Yeah.
but as you and I know, and any serious Bruce fan knows, he controls the narrative. Like he wants a certain narrative out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
He's controlling everything.
Yeah.
This is not organic. The fact that there was this book, they were so sneaky about it because they had to plan this stuff 5 years in advance. Like Warren and Zanes did not just decide, oh, I want to write about Nebraska. Like this is all coming from Bruce and John. Like, hey, let's get somebody to write a book. Let's get Scott Cooper to direct this movie. Like this is all part of this package.
Yes.
So I feel kind of played. Like now that I've kind of put it together, I'm like, I feel kind of played, but like whatever. I'm glad that it's out there. The book is excellent. I think that's really, in my mind, for me, my biggest pet peeve with it is, as we've talked about, the book is just so much better because it just goes more in depth. Like a movie cannot do what the book does. You just can't. You can't.
Yeah.
So I think the book is much better than the movie.
Again, and I don't want to just keep beating a dead horse, so to speak, but when we heard about the project, it was going to be about what was the kind of the influence of or what was going on for him to make Nebraska, and for Nebraska to get created, and somehow the movie to me lost sight of that.
Did you know the actress that played Faye? Did you
No,
know her at all? Okay,
no,
I've
not
never
at all.
seen her before.
No,
Not that I know
no,
of.
no.
I was just curious.
No, like I said, she was. I mean, she was. I mean, it's okay. I mean, again, I don't want to just keep saying the same thing over and over again. But again, the biggest thing was the, and some of the flashbacks were powerful. They were good, but there were just so many of them. It's like, yeah, I know there's an issue with his dad. If you're good at what you're doing, one or two tells you.
Um, oh, so the whole time I'm watching the movie, and I missed it the first time. I'm thinking, well, God damn it, they put the carousel in the carousel house. They set up the little casino.
Yeah.
But I know I saw pictures of the Ferris wheel, and I'm like, there's no fucking Ferris wheel. The very last shot of him standing out on the rocks by the convention hall, off way in the background, because he's standing on the opposite end of the boardwalk. You see the Ferris wheel. And just as a movie, just from like, forget about what we're talking about, just from the movie making part of it, how much money did they spend to get a Ferris wheel back there for 2 seconds? Like, can you imagine that? They probably spent $100,000 putting that thing up.
Or they shot it somewhere else and they just cut it in. I don't know.
No, it was there. Like they had a
They,
Ferris
they
wheel
brought it.
in Asbury.
They brought in a Ferris wheel
There was a Ferris
on a
wheel.
flatbed.
Yes, they put it together. They whatever they had to do.
Again, going back to the director. It makes it look good, but it's like really, but it's not authentic. People, like you said, almost like it's not authentic.
And would people have cared if there was no Ferris wheel back there? Like who
That's
cares
what
a
I'm saying.
shit?
You know you're in a seaside town.
I don't know if I ever
You've
told you.
you've established that you're in a seaside town.
So my dad was an extra like on 7 or 8 movies over the years. I was an extra twice, and one of them was in a movie which is terrible. It's called Fred Claus.
I
Starred
know.
Paul
I love Fred
Giamatti.
Claus.
So I was an extra. They filmed it downtown, right in front of the Tribune building. I
Okay.
spent 2 days down there, and I was one of 1,000 extras, and I'm not exaggerating. And they had to pay us. I literally was there for 2 full days, and I was outside for maybe 2 hours of that time. Just the money that they spent for what turned into 3 minutes of film. It's unbelievable how much time and money they have to spend to just get small little segments.
I was thinking of you're right. I mean, that's why.
That's why they moved to AI and
Well, and
graphic stuff.
but also, Ryan, it's also I think why, like the movies that we grew up with, like those mid-tier adult dramas, don't get made anymore because they cost too much and nobody's going to go see them. That's I think what Lynn was saying is, I know you're saying, oh, you want to see other things like this, for maybe like, I think Nick was saying like for say Born to Run or from but like I said, if the budget is 55 billion, if this thing is not going to maybe not even make 20, 22, if I'm an investor, why am I putting up money?
I'd like to see the economics of it. Like, so they spent 55 million. They're
But
gonna
then
make.
also usually the kind of, if you spend 55 million, you're also going to probably spend 25 million on promotion.
So I guess what my question is,
So now we're saying
when
now
it
we're
goes
at,
to
they say we're at 75 now.
when it goes to Netflix, like what kind of money are they getting? Like I don't know the answer to this. I'd have to look into it.
It's some, but it's not gonna make up 50 million.
Because it used to be like, prior to streaming, like
Yeah,
DVDs, like
no, you could sell it
they'd earn $100 million
you
off of
sell it to
DVDs.
syndication, you need a DVD. Yeah, there's all different ways you could. There were other revenue streams where you could recoup it back. Now those are kind of gone.
Carol's asking me.
Yeah.
I was there. I had to get up at like 4 in the morning. I had to be there on site at 6, and I was there till 6 at night. They gave us lunch. They would cater in like a basic lunch
Yeah.
and dinner, but yeah, they provided one. so you can see me clearly for about 1 second in Fred Claus.
I'll
And
look for it.
there's another movie that it just was total happenstance. It's called I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, they filmed it here in DeKalb. It was set in like a rural country. They filmed it here in DeKalb. It's got Dennis Quaid, Zac Efron, and Heather Graham. It's called At Any Cost.
Okay.
Anyway, so they put a thing in the paper like, oh, looking for extras. Well, my dad and my uncle Rick came up. We were going to go to Minnesota to see Garrison Keillor. Well, it just happened to be that day. So they came up. We go to this church. I see Quaid there. I see Efron there. They put us down in the uh, basement in the dining room, and it was amazing. The casting person or whoever was in charge of the extras, they just told us to wear like kind of casual dressy stuff. It was supposed to be in a funeral. That's what the
Oh,
scene was.
yeah.
So dress casual, decent casual clothes. This lady comes in. Okay, I want those two. I want these three. Like she knew exactly what she was looking for. She was a pro. It blew my mind. And within 5 minutes, she had everybody that she wanted, and they put us in these pews. Clancy Brown was there too.
Okay.
I actually got to talk to Clancy Brown. I was like, dude, your role in Shawshank still gives me chills. Oh, thank you very much. Like, what are you gonna say? I was an idiot. Um, Toby just got back from watching it again. Hey, Toby,
Hi,
tell
Toby.
us what you think. Um, anyway, just kind of watching it behind the scenes and the scene that we're in. We walk down the stairs and Quaid and somebody else are out front and they're like in the reception line. And it just looks so funny because me, my uncle and my dad all walk, three single file. And like if you look at us, like we have the same stomachs, we have the same builds. It was like seeing three different generations of the helicopters. But it was eye-opening to be on the set and like just see how it works. Because if unless you're there, you have no idea. Like until I did that Fred Claus movie, I didn't know how that fucking worked. I just thought they were shooting out on the street. Like, no, they're controlling everything that they're doing.
That's
Anyway,
why that's why directors are all control freaks.
and some musicians that we know are control freaks.
Yeah. Yes. I was joking, not that I ever would be a director, but one of the things I think it might be you've still already seen it in Scorsese, and you can kind of see when he was like 8 years old, he was already like storyboarding,
Storyboarding.
and like you were saying, like he saw it in his head. And I went over to Pam. I said, "How many times you've heard that in 16 years?"
Yeah, it was interesting. Like I didn't know much about him at all as far as how he got started or if he went to school or anything.
When
So it's
you
pretty.
like they spend a good amount of time on Taxi Driver. I think that's in episode 2.
They were set the end of episode 1. They're setting it up for
Yeah,
Taxi Driver.
they spend a good amount of time in Raging Bull. They do talk a lot about the Last Waltz, and with him and Robertson, good and bad.
I was pissed. You know why I was pissed?
But
Do you know when he got his first Oscar?
who?
Scorsese.
What?
He edited in there's a Elvis documentary called Elvis on Tour. Came out in 1972.
Oh, okay,
He was in charge of, and they kind of alluded to this in the Woodstock movie, which he got fucking hosed on that. I
I
was
know
like,
he did.
what? Um, he did like a 5-minute montage of pictures of young Elvis, Vegas, all this
Okay.
stuff. He was in charge of that montage, and he won an Oscar for like that
Oh,
for
I
editing or
wasn't aware of
whatever
that.
the category was. So I was like, dude, you don't even talk about. But he's got so many films. It's like how
Well,
much can I
like I
talk
said, I
about?
mean, yeah, they also, they spend a lot of time on the Last Temptation of Christ. They show how important that was to him, um, and which was interesting. And they spend a good amount of time on Goodfellas. Uh, but yeah, I think I left. I episode 4 ends where he's just gonna start his relationship in partnership with DiCaprio, and then it's
Oh, fucking Graham is here. Graham's watch it. Say hello to Graham, Freddie.
hi Graham.
Hello, Graham. Uh, what I thought was fascinating was like I didn't know anything about the asthma. And Spike Lee says, "Thank God for asthma." But he said it like he looked out he spent all of his time 3 floors up looking down at the street, and he said like, I'm trying to recreate that shot like every fucking movie I do. Like there's that shot of me looking down or somebody looking down, and the screen or whatever he called it, with the shot where he's like way up above and he comes down through
Yeah.
the gate. Once he said that, I'm like, oh my God, like that, it was like mind blowing.
I mean, like I said, when and there's a part, and you'll like it because we talked a little bit about it, where when they're talking about Goodfellas, when they're talking with Pileggi and they're going over the script, and all of a sudden Marty goes, "Cream." What cream? What are you talking about, cream? And like already Scorsese knew where he was going to put the music in already. He had it already timed and filmed. Okay, cream is going to go here. And like he's going, what are you talking about? But yeah, I they're probably not I hope they spend a little bit of time on silence.
Silence.
You'd have to rent it, Ryan. It came out 9 years ago. This is also like one of his little pet projects. It's with Andrew Garfield, Liam Neeson. I forget the other person that's in it. Uh, it came out, I think it was in 2016. When I watched it, I said it should have won Best Picture. It was my favorite film of that year. Um, it's about like almost like the Jesuits priests going to feudal Japan to try to bring Christianity. It's tremendous, but it's not Goodfellas and Raging Bull and Taxi Driver. It's the more of the Kundun, it's just the kind of the thinking part of him.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was really, really well done. So it'd be nice if they say something a little bit about that. But they spend a good amount of time on The Last Waltz. Um, and that's also the kind of beginning of his cocaine problems, his health problems. And
He had a cocaine problem.
he almost died.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I'll let you I'll let
Okay.
the show talk about it. Yeah, it's him and Robbie Roberts were like roommates like for a while. Um, but it's like I said, it's really interesting. It's like like again, he just want you see artists that they see it, and then
Um,
they're able to really transfer what they see in their head to down in some kind of a art medium. And
I know we still have to talk after we're done. Come 1st of January, we're gonna sit down and storyboard out what we're doing next year.
yeah,
Did we talk about doing a quarter of Scorsese or De Niro?
we didn't know. We didn't even have a conversation
Well, we
about.
talked to no. We've talked about De
We talked
Niro
about
and
Newman and Redford. That was trying to.
we talked about doing King of Comedy.
Yes.
So I didn't know if we were thinking about De Niro or Scorsese.
Well, you could also there's a couple of intersections there that you could do. And
But
talk about.
we're doing Goodfellas. Did we do something else by Scorsese?
Uh, Not. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that
so.
did yet. No.
We did two Pacinos. That's what it was. We were trying to avoid duplicates, but we did
Oh,
Godfather and
yeah, and then we
Spartacus.
did Scarface, and now we'll do Heat. Yeah. But
Why
again,
am I here?
again,
Because she's got a great ass in your head. It's all the way up in it.
you talk about ad libbing. I told you the story, like with Hank Azaria, he had like no idea it was coming, and that's what his reaction was like, "What? What?" And there's also and again, I'll save it for the show in a couple of weeks, and there's a couple of months. But also when William Fichtner has a moment like that as well. But yeah, it'll be fun to there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of the surface still has to be scratched. Let's put it that way.
Anything more about Heat 2? Like any whispers or anything?
I guess somehow he's still working, I guess, on the cast. There's still, I guess, you have to use some amount of AI in there because there's gonna be some aging in there between, I guess, going from prequel to sequel. It looks like now they're expecting, which makes sense, a 2027 release.
So are they actually? So they haven't
So they're
started
gonna start
filming yet.
shooting it next year in
Okay.
26.
Are they doing? So this is all like De Niro's not in it at all. Pacino's not in it. Like none of the
My
original.
understanding is no, they're not in it.
It's all the prequel. There's
Yeah, and the
no.
other thing too is, it sounds like the only reason or one of the reasons this film was getting made is because DiCaprio's name is on it. And Amazon kicked in some more money too,
He's
but
in
they're
it.
gonna probably
He's
have
in it, or his.
because DiCaprio's got a couple of things moving. I said a couple. I know a movie, at least one movie. I think he's gonna be start filming with Scorsese, so he's got to get probably work. They're gonna probably have to work around his schedule.
So he's not in it just as a producer or something. He's in it.
Who,
He's
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
My understanding is that DiCaprio, I believe, is probably going to play the young Neil McCauley, I think,
Okay.
or maybe more, or Hannah. He's playing with either the young Pacino or the young De Niro. I'm not sure which one.
So the only thing we know for sure is Butler is the young Kilmer,
We
right?
don't even know. I don't. If those are just rumors, but now
Oh,
it looks like that. Austin Butler, I think, is almost. It sounds like it's almost a go of him and Michael B. Jordan in the new Miami Vice reboot. So they may be looking for another person. I mean, early on, Adam Driver was supposed to play the young Macaulay.
that's what you had told me. Driver.
So again, I don't know how all the casting is going to work. I heard, Bradley. I mean, everybody. First of all, I mean, a lot of people want to work with Michael Mann, so that's one thing.
That's
Uh,
reminding me that Butler was in a movie called that just came out that
yeah,
caught stealing.
yeah, it didn't do that well.
It looked interesting, at least from the review. You've seen it?
I was interested in seeing it, but I heard it was not that good.
Not good. Okay. Well, then I don't want to waste.
But
Oh,
he's one of those guys he's been interesting already in a couple of different things.
there's a movie called Eddington, which is going to be coming out on HBO Max. It was in the theater
Yeah, I
earlier this
remember.
year.
Yeah, I was interested in seeing it. Yes.
I want to see that. I'll watch that on
Yeah,
HBO when it
it
comes
was
out.
Ari Aster is the filmmaker. Yeah.
It's got what's his name?
It's got Emma Stone's in it. It's got Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix
It's
and
it's supposed to have it's supposed to be good. I'm interested in seeing that. But
Pedro Pascal. That's the other guy that's in it.
yes, yes. But again, in terms of casting, it just whispers right now, Ryan. Nothing final. But it is going to be shot in L.A. That is that somehow they got that L.A. got a tax credit or whatever. But it is going to be filmed in L.A., which you couldn't film Heat in any other city but L.A. I'm glad it's going to be filmed that way. And it's one of those things where the things that are really, really, really important to you, and it's like, do we want to go down that road and like all of a sudden blow up what it is, like for Godfather they went to the well one too many times. I hope it's not like that, because the original is just so good. So
Did you ever see I mean, I know we talked about it, the latest, I can't remember the name of it, the Coppola movie that came out last year.
Megalopolis, no.
You didn't see it just because the reviews were
It,
so
it,
bad.
it looked like so bad.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't like to think of Francis Ford Coppola that way. I have so many wonderful memories. I don't want to think about that crap.
And with so much content out there, you got to be kind of discerning on what you're willing to invest your time in.
I mean, in some ways, he's like he's one of, if not my maybe favorite filmmaker, because his beginning is as good. When you go from The Godfather to Godforsaken, like Apocalypse Now, you can't be better than that. And then
He made arguably three of the best top 10 movies in
of all
American
time.
cinema of all time.
But then that's it. And then it's a couple wins. I mean, I love what the hell is it called? Rumblefish, so much better than The Outsiders, but that's most people are the opposite. Cotton Club was another disaster. One from the Heart was a disaster. Peggy Sue made some money, but it was eh. I mean, Dracula was very good. Dracula was great. I
I
mean,
don't know if I've told you this, but like one of my favorite movies to ever is like if it's on TV, I'm watching it. The Rainmaker, which is based on a terrible John
yes,
Grisham movie,
yeah,
but like just he's a master working with some shoddy material, but he turns it into a great fucking movie.
yes, yeah. But yeah, it's either going to be in the Smithsonian or it's dog shit. And unfortunately, he made himself a really nice wine business, but I think that's all gone now. I think he mortgaged everything for this movie. Like he doesn't have anything now. So I don't know.
The one line that got me in the Scorsese one was I knew nothing about that boxcar Bertha or whatever the fuck it
Oh
was.
yeah.
I never even heard of
But
it.
the thing is, go ahead.
His Cassavetes saw him at a party and he gave him a huge hug and a kiss. And he's like, Marty, you just spent a year of your life making this piece of shit. Don't ever do that again. And like he took it to heart.
Well, I was telling,
but at the same time, he was just trying to make a living. Like, it sounded like he was not getting anything. So he took a job and he did the movie.
See, to put in context, like, first of all, I was like trying to explain to Pam, and she was watching some of it. It's like, that's John Cassavetes. She's like I said it was like Joe Giorgio. I had no idea. And like I have to,
Joe Schmo.
That John Cassavetes is probably the father of independent American filmmaking, and in all this stuff. And then I explained who that was, but Roger Corman, he gave money to like Nicholson, he gave money to Coppola, he gave money to all these guys and just do something, and they went out there and they experimented, and it was crap. But he said he learned how to make how to film it on a budget and to actually become a professional filmmaker.
He came in under time and under budget. That's what he learned on that movie.
Yeah, like I said, the story of Roger Corman giving artists who became, the tops of their field is like on two hands. I mean, he's helped a lot of careers.
I love that story he told about he had everything drawn out, like all the scenes were drawn out. It wasn't a storyboard, but it was some kind of drawing. And he came in, looked at it, he's like, "You got this for every scene?" "Yep." "Okay, good enough." Walks off, never comes back again. Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm gonna leave him alone.
But yeah, I mean, Roger Corman was very important to young Hollywood. It really were, because these guys weren't getting any money to do anything.
Okay, last thought, and then I'm letting you go.
Sure.
The movie, Deliver Me From Nowhere.
Yeah.
For me, there's two people in the Bruce world that Jimmy Iovine and Stevie. Like they're just two guys. They talk like they're from the street still, even though they've been professionals for Iving's worth $1 billion. He just says what he thinks. He's just like so genuine. When he's screaming at Landau on the phone, he's gonna make the fucking folk album. Like that made the movie for me.
I turned to Pam and like all of a sudden it's like Jimmy. So first of all, I give her the elbow. First of all, the chicken wing is like it's Jimmy Iovine, and like I get all of a sudden like just the whole movie. Then all of it just completely perked up. It's like, oh, it's Jimmy Iovine. Yes, I'm like, I am one of those stupid people. I don't know why, but like if you hear like Jimmy Iovine's voice, like all of a sudden it's like, like I said, I mean, hopefully it'll be available at the archives on the
He was the highlight of the symposium for me that day.
He was the best. I was gonna bring it up in the earlier conversation, but we were kind of running low on time. But the story when he told them was classic. But I mean, whatever he, all that, that moxie. He also had some kind of a freaking ear, because the people that he worked with in the 80s, all the different types of musicians, whatever, every album that he was a part of was not only a critical hit, it was commercial success. So he heard something, he has some kind of an ear that he can hear things.
Well, I thought it was ironic in that conversation. Like, Jimmy had nothing to do with it, but he's still friends with John and Bruce, and they're all talking and sharing and whatever. But for Jimmy, dude, Jimmy says just put out Born in USA and 10 other songs. Nobody's gonna give a
That
shit.
was exactly.
That's all Jimmy cares about is the hit, like the hook. He give me the hook, give me that hit. That's not what Bruce is about. Like that, he's never been about that. So like they're at opposite ends of that whole discussion. But Jimmy's brilliant, like bullshitter from the streets of Brooklyn and walked his way in the door, bullshitted his way in the door. We had no idea what we were doing. Well, I'll just push this button. That doesn't sound right. I'll
That
push
was
this
that
button.
was that was one of the funniest things when he said to him, he goes, the album always sounded a little different. It was a little kind of, not kind of there. But then when you played it, it sounded like we wanted to. And he goes, yeah, I just kept turning buttons. I kept turning dials. What do you mean you kept turning dials? You mean that you're trying to say this whole thing was just an absolute it couldn't, I mean, it was just luck.
None of them had any idea what they were doing.
But it was great. Yeah, I just turned the dials.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh, but yeah.
Fred Carroll says, thank you for your another entertaining evening. I always enjoy Fred's reviews.
Thank you, Carol. I'd be curious if I get some Facebook deletions from friend deletions after my 8 minutes on screen today, but
you dialed it back. It was a little bit not as harsh as our conversation the other day, but you said what you had to say.
Because I kept it G. I kept it Disney friendly. Our conversation was more like Mark Maron talking with his guests, but
I did talk to my friends Jeff and Nancy that lived out in Dallas. They're part of the old Sean Poole group, but I talked to both of them at the same time, and they kind of said the same thing. Like they were like, "Really? Like this is the movie that we got out of this whole thing? So you're not alone in your thoughts."
I mean,
Not that it matters, but I'm just telling you, like you're not the
no,
only one.
thank you. It just just
So
like
Pam liked it, but she wasn't like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go see this 10 times."
and like I know it's very, very critical, but again, the actors and the casting I think were fine. Like I said, I think the scenes with Jeremy Strong and Jeremy Allen White were very good there. I think they were
That was the highlight of the movie
they
for
were the
me.
highlight. They were the highlights of the movies, and you actually did believe the friendship and the respect and the love that these two guys had for each other. I bought that. It's like I said, I'm not bringing it up again. I've said this too many times, but I think some of the other things is just, to me, it didn't work.
I think you're right. It comes down to the script. Like a lot of it was just kind of trite, ordinary.
And again, I thought about it more after I first saw it. Is like, again, we were kind of a little bit glib the other day. Is like, but the movie was supposed to be how Nebraska got created. What was the inspiration for Nebraska? And it seems the sequencing, as I said, was he comes off, he watches, he's watching Badlands at 3 o'clock in the morning. He goes, "Oh, great! Here's my." It's like Badlands and Night of the Hunter were like the inspiration for Nebraska.
Oh, I was wrong. So
And
the second viewing I did catch, I was like, "There's no fucking way that Badlands just happened to be on TV at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 nights." There was a videotape that was sitting up on the counter. So
Okay.
he did flip
Oh,
across
yeah.
channels. He just kind of saw it on TV, but he did go out and rent the
It just seems like the
VHS tape.
sequencing was that
Yeah.
he watched this movie, then all of a sudden it allowed him to write this great album, and then he gets depressed. And we
And
know that's not the
Doug
case.
never took him like that. I knew that was bullshit. Doug never took him to the movies. He never took him out of school and took him to the movies. So I'm like, this is, like I said, it got ham fisted at a couple, in some moments.
But you know what? For most of the fan base, they enjoyed it, and
That's
that's
all that
good.
counts. In the end, if Bruce and John liked it, then fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean like we talked. I mean, it's on a different kind of quad subject. We talked about it. You and I. We're not fans of tracks two, but we bought it, and it didn't work. Doesn't mean maybe not go back to it, but it doesn't change my affinity for him, and again, to be listening to a guy for 50 years and that and have an impact that's not going to change because of one. Because I think of something that wasn't up to the quality that you expect from him. Maybe that's the best way to describe
I
it.
think some of it is like the guy's 76 years old. He can do whatever the hell he wants. We either go watch it, we
He's
listen
everybody.
to it, we buy it. He can do whatever he wants.
He's there.
However, he's trying to control the narrative, and he knows he's 30 years from now, he's checked
Like
out.
it reminds like
He's looking
John
towards
Hughes.
his legacy. He wants to know that this movie is out there, so
Yeah,
30 years from now, kids that have no idea who Bruce Springsteen is, maybe they run across this movie and they find his music or something.
yeah. And also he did it like he did it for his fans too,
Yeah.
and his fans loved it, and that's good.
Seriously, can you imagine the pressure? Like, first, Jeremy Allen White can't play, can't sing, told him no 10 times. And then you got the fucking guy looking over your shoulder on set while you're trying to be this person. Like, I can't. If I was White, I would have been like, dude, I love you, but you gotta go. You gotta go. I can't imagine the pressure that he felt.
And again, I'm not in the inner circle. Maybe this did happen, but I was talking. I think we talked about it earlier. Is that him being on set and seeing scenes being shot is one thing, and it can look a certain way.
Yeah.
It's got it looks authentic to wow. The look is what it was back then, but it's all but then the story isn't created until the editing bay. I don't know how much he was involved in the editing. Was he seeing that? I don't know. I would think maybe not. I'm sure he saw cuts, but I don't know when. But I mean, just talking before we were talking with Scorsese. I mean, the biggest thing about Scorsese is Thelma Schumacher, with basically edited all of his movies. Like I said, you all of a sudden you have all this stuff, but then you gotta make it a movie.
Right.
You gotta make it all. It's like a puzzle. You have to find a way to make all the pieces fit, and that's the hard part. Shooting it looking authentic, which it did, that's a portion, but then making sure to adding in all the other parts that are part of filmmaking, that's the making of a film.
Yes, Lynn is chiming in here about Jimmy. Yeah,
Oh,
the guy started with John Lennon. He's a bullshitter from Brooklyn. Like, he bullshit his way in the door.
he
But at
is
a certain point in time, John Lennon, Bruce, Tom Petty, Stevie Nicks, Simple Minds, like,
Mark Knopfler, you too, yes.
yeah, obviously he bullshit his way in the door, but once he got there, it's not like he's some schmuck. He knew what he
But
was
I,
doing.
but I mean, you talk about somebody. He is the example he is the personification of street smart and personality. And you know what? He got in the door, and when he got in the door, I remember even watching it on his documentary that no one worked harder than him.
Yeah.
He was one of just completely had nothing else going on and was just completely consumed with being great.
And when he saw an opportunity, like forget
The
everything
Patty,
else.
the Pat when he
He
when he
weaseled
called
because of
the
the
when
night
he,
for Patty, and then he weasels stop dragging my heart around for Stevie. Like, just those two things alone.
when he called Springsteen, he takes him to the catalog. Would it be okay? He's doing that con job. And then I'm sure they've had a couple of laughs over drinks and dinner. It's like you son of a bitch, you conned me. It's like you conned me out of that song. It's like,
Yeah, I'm gonna drive you out to Coney Island. We're gonna go have a chili dog, and we're gonna talk about
well,
because of
first
the
of
night.
all, when you talk about Stop Dragging My Heart Out, I guess it was, but the real fun story about that is, and then I mentioned to you, is that originally she asked for a song.
Right.
The
She
writer.
wanted to be in the band. She wanted to be in the
Yes.
band.
She was always viewed herself as an honorary heartbreaker, but he said no women. Yes.
Yep.
But he wrote Insider to be that song off of Hard Promises, which I love, and and she sings a duet on it. But after Tom Petty wrote that song, he goes, "It's too good. I gotta keep it." But I'll let you sing on it. And then he wrote or then I guess he had written, and then he gave her "Stop Dragging My Heart Around," which was, which is one of the hits off of that album. But Insider was the song that initially he wrote for her, but then kept for himself. And as I said, he allowed her to sing on it, and it was great. It's a great song.
Kind of like Hungry Heart and Cover Me. Like
Yes.
that was funny when John was like, "Yeah, I'm glad we didn't give that one away to Donna Summer."
I mean, what was I guess? What was I guess it might have been, I guess, with Hungry Heart or whatever. He goes, "You gotta stop giving me these freaking songs." It's like I'm gonna quit. You keep giving me these songs, well, I'm gonna quit.
That was funny when that guy drove by and he was like, "Bruce, we love you, Hungry Heart," and John's like, "Yeah, hits aren't so bad, are they?"
But
I love that. Bruce, you suck.
but
Oh, another satisfied customer.
but yeah, again, hopefully we get a status report from Pam. Said it looks like tomorrow instead of Wednesday we're gonna get the music, um the vinyl with Nebraska, Electric
Well, wait a minute.
Nebraska.
How did you listen to it then?
I didn't even listen to it yet.
You sent me something this morning. I assumed you had listened to it. I thought that's why you sent me that text.
No.
Oh, so how did you pick that up? Just from the movie?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, earlier this week, I was just listening to Nebraska to kind of get in the mind space for the movie. And while I'm listening to it, again, most of his songs are cinematic. I always kept saying, like, I could just see him driving 100 miles an hour like in the middle of Arizona on a dusty road, with the lines flying by. But
Okay.
then I started hearing he just played that same chord, and it all of a sudden it became like it's almost like it's a voice in your head,
It's
and
hypnotic.
the voice won't shut up.
Yeah.
And then finally you just give in to the voice. And
Okay.
then, like I said, when I also then went on with my father's house, I was just listening to it, and I guess just forever I was just concentrating differently. I just heard that it's like the only song because it was different than any other song on the album, is that the vocals are higher and you don't really hear the guitar. So it's almost like I said, he's like writing in a journal or writing a letter. You don't hear the music. It just to me it gives the feel of he's writing this down. He's writing almost like writing a letter to his dad. Because
I
because the strumming is so quiet.
right.
That
So
but
I
I
apologize.
haven't heard
Okay.
the material yet. No,
I'll
I
be
can't wait.
curious what you think. I'm not going to say anything about it other than the fact that I think Electric could have been the album. Like I would not want to not have Nebraska as we know it.
Yeah.
But if they had put out Electric, that could have been the album and people would have loved it and blah blah blah. I honestly walked out of the theater yesterday the second time and I'm like, okay, right or wrong, Nebraska, the way we have it is what he wanted to put out at that time. Fine.
Yep.
But he knew that John had to eat all kinds of shit and to be the guy that deliver that and deal with the repercussions of it. So I think in his mind, Nebraska was his for him. Born USA is not what he wanted to put out, but he was like, "Here, you let me do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Here's your fucking hit album. Do
Yeah.
whatever you want with it."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Electric Nebraska, I think you'll like
I
it.
can't. I can't wait. And I think Mary Jones brought up something, a feeling that I also felt is like, yes, I was looking forward to the movie was coming out, but then when you heard a couple of months ago that all the other stuff, the outtakes, and then you were going to get this, that's what I really got excited about was to kind of open that up and listen to that. And then, I do think that I'm going to put a hole in the vinyl from listening to Losing Time. I feel bad for Pam because I will put on Losing Kind literally 10 straight times. and just keep listening.
It's a great song.
I just keep it's gonna have like a whole it's gonna have this big groove in the album from just playing it so often.
It caught me off guard the other night because I've listened to it, many, many times, but I was like, oh, this is like got Western mariachi type flavor to the guitars on the back of it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like the first dive into some Western stuff, that we obviously he would do much later, but it's like, oh, I hadn't really paid attention to
Now,
that.
this is a closed-ended question, so just say yes or no. But is there also a video component of him playing? Okay, great.
There's whatever they did at the
Yeah.
at the Count Basie, it's there. It's a Blu-ray.
Now, is it just like acoustic Nebraska, or was that other thing that we united
I
was
haven't watched it.
hoping?
I
Huh?
haven't watched. I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying not to. I'm not trying not to oversaturate myself, but
Oh,
I
okay.
have it. I haven't watched it.
Oh,
But
okay.
we saw whatever it was, Open All Night or whatever video that he put
Yeah.
out.
Oh, I thought maybe you had also like that other thing that we're thinking where we heard a rumor that it could be that as well. I was wondering if you could have confirmed that, but it'll
Nope.
be good. It'll be good to discover that.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't like that was my first thought. I was like, oh, I want to do that, but I'm like, nope, I'm gonna give myself some time so I have a fresh mind when I look at it.
Okay. No,
When are
that's
you
fair.
getting it? Wednesday?
Supposed to get it tomorrow now,
Oh, tomorrow. Gotcha.
but
Well,
I'll have plenty of time to listen to it. I'll in the month of November, so
that's true. Oh yeah, your
I'll
surgery's
be up.
what, Thursday?
Yeah, when I get up and I wobble over it, when I wobble over it to get myself some coffee, I'll put it on and take the old walker, bring it to the turntable, basically kind of balance myself on there and put it on. But yeah, I expect to get a lot of use out of that.
You're doing hip or knee this time?
Left knee, left knee.
Left knee. And that'll be the second one, correct?
Yes, yes. Oh,
Uh,
just so you know, this will be the last day. I should leave it on this thing, but I finally got. We were talking about. I got my real ID. Went to the
oh
DMV
yeah, you told me
yesterday.
you were going to, yeah. How was that?
I almost wanted to basically blow up the.
The DMV?
Yeah, it's like it also is like I'm sitting there. If I could have paid somebody $1,000 to not to go through that again, it would be money well spent. I'll just
That
leave it at
bad,
this.
huh?
I'm sure everybody's had this same experience. So I had a 12 o'clock appointment, and in the DMV is about 50 minutes away from where we live. So we drove about an hour, got there. My time, we left the DMV at 3:45. I'm sorry, 2:45. I'm sorry, 2:45 left the DMV. Pam timed it. The time it took for me to actually process the ID was 11 minutes.
Wait, what time was your appointment time?
12.
So 12 o'clock, you left at 2:45,
No, 12 o'clock. No, 12 o'clock was the appointment. We left the house like at 11 in the
right?
morning.
But you got there at 12
Yep.
and you walked out at 2:45?
Yep. And then
And
another hour home. Yeah.
the processing time was 11 minutes out of that 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yes.
Oh my God. And that was with an appointment?
That was with an appointment.
Jesus. Jeez, I can't believe you got to go that far. I would think there'd be something
It was,
closer.
I guess, to try to get it was also sometimes to try to get an appointment for it and stuff. But I'm sure everybody's had an experience with the DMV, but it literally, I'm sitting online and like what are we doing here?
Good God. Maybe I won't do it because I've been flying with domestically with my passport, but it makes me feel weird, but
Now,
fuck it.
now when
Maybe
Pam said that, because she thinks that eventually they may just gonna make it uniform. But I'm just thinking, I was saying, like, what? I gotta my passport's updated. What am I? If I'm just doing this so I can fly domestically, I gotta be like the biggest jooch in the world because I can just use. Here's the passport. We're good.
right.
But
Are you
yes.
off all this week?
No, I'm working tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the surgery's Thursday, and I go back to work on Monday, December 1st.
Oh, you're only taking like a month off?
Yeah.
I thought you were off for like 2 months or more.
No, but both hips were a month off.
Okay.
Like the first 2 weeks, you're not really ready to do anything.
Right.
You also kind of catching your breath again and get your stamina back. You like for the hips, like by the third week I could have gone back, but
So I hate to ask a dumb question,
yeah,
but I haven't had much
no,
surgery. You've obviously been through this serious, joint surgery.
yeah,
They got you up and walking the same day, next day?
yeah, same thing. I guess they have it down to a science. The actual, I think, surgery time is like 90 minutes. So after you come out of recovery, after the anesthetic kind of wears off, and they bring you up to your room, they have like I remember with the hips, I was walking in the hallway.
What is your pain like?
It was it was pain, but it
But
was
I'm saying,
okay.
are you like on heavy pain meds like for 2 weeks afterwards
Well,
or
basically the doctor gives you pain medication. Fortunately, I never used it
really?
for the
So
hip.
like
No.
you go home and you didn't take anything?
Oh.
Damn. I would think you'd be on some serious pain meds for a while.
No, I mean they give you they had like meloxicam and gives you a little oxy and stuff like that. But I never used it.
Wow.
I remember because this is I guess when I had my Achilles surgery, Ryan. I remember
Did you tear
that
your Achilles or did it rip,
I
tear?
completely it
It just
exploded.
it,
It
it disconnect.
exploded. It
Okay.
ruptured.
Oh,
Um,
is
that
that as awful as I've heard?
uh, for me, no.
Like
Well,
you felt
I
it,
should say
but
yes,
you
but
felt it right away, but you weren't in terrible pain.
well, I'll get to that in a second. But I
Oh,
just said the when I remember getting home and I remember taking a Percodan, and I remember when I was there, it's like I just felt like the feeling of feeling loopy, and I didn't like to not kind of be in control, and I felt loopy. So I said I'm not taking another one. So that's was much as anything else. But I think I have a pretty good tolerance for pain.
were you
Um,
playing tennis or something at the time?
that's how that's I actually ruptured my Achilles at a tennis fantasy camp.
Okay, so you were playing, and you knew
Now,
it right away that there was
well,
that what had
the
happened.
reason when I what I did was I was playing, I pivoted and pushed off to hit another tennis ball, and all of a sudden, this is I'll never forget. It was like somebody shot discharged a shotgun blast.
Like you mean the sound? Like there was a loud sound?
It was like
Really?
somebody. It was like there was like a shotgun.
Wow.
Somebody just shot a round off right behind me. It was that loud,
Wow. Hmm.
and I remember I kind of like flat-footed walked across like 5 courts to get to like where where actually the trainer was. And I remember saying like I thought but when I heard what surgery was supposed to be so much pain, he goes, I said I don't have any pain. He said, you don't have any pain because there's nothing there. That all the tendons completely pulled apart from each other. Now, when I tried to flex my foot, and not be flat, it like somebody like took like a blow or somebody like was taking fire and burning my skin.
Hmm.
Like
Interesting.
what but like once you try to I said to make a flex, it it then I knew there was a real problem.
Hmm.
But when I just walked flat footed, like I said, I walked across the width of 5 courts. But
Hmm. So that was worse than you doing the knees or the hips.
oh, see, I don't know. See, I'm was different.
But that was probably a while ago,
Well,
so it's
it was
probably a
25 years ago,
oh,
but
okay.
I was that was in the end of October. I had the surgery. I was in a leg cast for 5 weeks. Then in a walking boot, and I started surgery. I started rehab like in the early part of December, and I was playing tennis again in February.
Hmm.
I rehabbed in 4 months.
Wow.
Which I mean, a lot of people, now athletes are completely different, but like professional athletes, it takes like a year. I was back to where I was playing tennis at that level in 4 months.
Hmm.
And the best part about it is when I got on the court and played, I never thought about it again. I never thought about about that. Is it going to be a problem again? So I had complete confidence in heel and in my rehab. So but yeah, but I know some other people it's taken much longer.
Sharon is back. Sharon says, "What are we talking about now?" Sharon, we're talking about how
No,
Fred is Steve Austin and
no,
he's the million dollar
I don't
man.
know. I don't know how we got there. Like the last thing I don't want to before like signing off, I don't want to talk about like medical injuries and how I've overcome in like major surgeries to my lower torso.
Hey, we've got this is something I probably need to look for. I'll be dealing with. So, have you? I know you've been out hitting, but like, have you played tennis since you've had all your
I didn't
surgeries?
play a lot this year. I played more last year.
Just because you've been busy or not feeling good?
It's just that I didn't have the movement that I had before. Now, having the knee, my anticipation is, or my goal is, I should say, is that I'm going to play tennis in 2026.
You feel like you'll have
Yeah.
full mobility after this is done?
My goal is that I'll be playing tennis again, real sets with my friends like I had before in 2026. Yeah.
Lynn is asking, what kind of joints are they metal or are they ceramic? What are
Titanium.
they?
I believe
Titanium.
they're titanium. Yeah.
Serious
The
question.
hip,
I know
the
people
hips,
joke about that.
I know the hips are titanium. Yeah.
Do you set off a metal detector when you go through, or is
Oh,
that
it's fun. Now all of a sudden, like when you go through like TSA screening, I go like this. I go, and they go like this. They take me out of line, and then like I go through the you have your like little personal one. I go up like this. I get the one.
So you give them the single, the signal, they know exactly what
I
you're
go like
doing?
this. Now it's gonna be like this. Now it's gonna be touch my hips and touch my knee. I I've
Sharon
already
says she
I've
had
told.
Achilles tendonitis for 9 months. It
Oh,
awful, just
that
healed in July.
that hurts.
Pam had issues with her feet, Achilles. I don't know what the hell
It
she
was
had going
both.
on,
It
but
was both.
both. She's still dealing with it.
I've already told Bab it's like when they put me when they put me in the ground, it's like might as well go in there and scope out and take all the titanium and help
You're
pay
worth
for
some
the
money.
casket.
You're worth some money.
That's what I'm saying. Go pay for the casket. At least basically, go bring it down to the jeweler. It's like, you know what? I got 17 kilograms of titanium here.
Pam's gonna hit the jackpot, buddy.
Oh my God. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully at least it'll pay for maybe if it paid for the casket, it'll be worth it. But yeah.
Oh, was that in the Scorsese movie? Yeah, he's about the Continental Can Company. That was like
Yeah.
a slap in the face. I was like, man, because he showed the picture, like he showed the cemetery and the Continental, literally the Continental Can Company, and he's like, really? This is what it comes to? You work your whole life, and you're buried in front of the Continental Can Company? Like, no, thank you. I'm gonna go out and do what I want to do.
It was like I said, it was interesting. Like when they talk, it talks a little bit with Isabella Rossellini when they were together, and like he would say like, you know, Marty, like every day, like Marty, like he would like ponder about like like man's existence in the universe, and he would go to Isabella Rossellini like, don't you think about it? She goes, no, I think I went out for lunch today. She was like saying, not everything is this philosophical question of like how man fits into the universe. Sometimes what makes it what I'm gonna if I'm gonna have a BLT or a burger. That's what I'm thinking about.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. It doesn't have to be
Exactly.
some existential question. Now,
Ex-
why am I smoking this cigar?
but yeah, I definitely recommend the Scorsese doc. Like I said, I'll finish that this week. And yeah, I have another Slow Horses will be done, and hopefully down Reservation Road will be good. And got some movies coming up. So there's a lot between the stuff on the Criterion Channel. There's plenty of stuff to keep my attention. I also try to do some books that I got as presents as gifts last year for Christmas. Want to start to kind of to get into some of those. So I'll have plenty of time ponder my existence
There's
as
no
well.
lack of content out there. And what's amazing out of this conversation, skip the movie part
Yeah.
of it. Uh, how many people have not been, and like as we've talked about, and as we can see, nobody's going to the movies anymore.
Yes.
People on here hadn't been to the movie in 12 years and 5 years
6
and
years.
whatever. So right there, I mean, that's, you talk about a, testing group, like there's your testing group. And they said it, like all the previews that they were watching were dog shit. There was nothing there that they wanted to go see. I go to the movies, I mean, with the kids, shit, I used to go to the movies once a week with the kids, but I still go. I probably don't go nearly as much, once
I
a
don't
month maybe.
I don't go nearly as much until there's like something out that I want to see and then I'll go. But yeah, but it's like I was kind of like biting my tongue is like when you're saying like 30 minutes, I was like, yeah, it's like it's always been 30 minutes. And like it's like and I look I used to look forward to the 30 minutes.
Every once in a while there's a decent one, but most of
Yeah.
them are just
I mean,
sci-fi crap that I'll never
I think
see.
if I remember, I think what we got was like Avatar, and I forget there was Wicked. I know was that, and there were just some other things that were crap too. Yeah,
One with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons called Begonia, that looks kind of
that's supposed to
interesting.
be possibly an Oscar contender. I didn't get that. I would have liked to have gotten that.
Sharon says there's a documentary about JFK. Jesus, how many documentaries are out there about JFK? 1,000?
I do know I think it was attached when we saw it. When we saw one battle after another, we did get the Odyssey, the first trailer for the Odyssey, the Christopher Nolan movie that's coming out next year. That's good.
Wait, is that about Hiroshima?
No,
What is Odyssey about?
the Odyssey about from the Iliad and the Odyssey, the story of the.
Oh, okay. I haven't
No,
heard about that
no,
at all.
I know what your connection is
I guess
because
I think that's his next project is the one about Hiroshima.
no, well, it's supposedly James Cameron's like next one because he
Oh,
blasted.
Nolan did Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but yes, I know what you were getting at because Cameron blasted Nolan for not spending any time about showing the effects of dropping the bomb.
Right, right.
And his movie is going to deal with some of that.
Got
But
it.
no, but the Nolan movie, that's what Matt Damon and John Bernthal and Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland is the story, and Charlize Theron is the story of Odysseus.
Got it. Got it.
Um,
Graham's just texting me. I sat and watched Twin Peaks season 1 with him and his girlfriend, which I had never seen, and
okay.
I thought it was intriguing. So I just watched episode 1 of season 2 last night. So he's been after me, Dad. You gotta watch Twin Peaks. You gotta watch Twin Peaks. So I finally sat and watched the first. It's weird, man. It's like I'm pretty open minded about stuff, but it's pretty fucking weird.
I would just say this, and this is a perfect segue
Okay.
for me to say goodnight, Gracie. Is I remember this is 19, I think it was 1990 when it came out, the first season of Twin Peaks. And it's still one of my top 7 shows of all time. There was nothing like it, Ryan.
Yeah.
And now in 1990, I'm 28 years old. And I stayed home every Saturday night to watch it, to watch the episode. Because there was nothing that looked like it, that sounded like it, with the music, with just all these scenes and the shots. It was something like you had never seen before, and you were going to talk about it on Monday. So the first season of Twin Peaks was special, and then it went off the rails. And second season was terrible. Wasn't really that good. But I don't know how much really they were involved in it afterwards. The prequel movie Fire Walk with Me has a lot of good parts to it, but the first season of Twin Peaks is, I mean, it's amazing. But and then I think it's 9 years ago when it came out on Showtime, it was The Return. And there was some good stuff in that, especially like his version of like how Bob was created. and I'll leave it at that. But Twin
Okay.
Peaks, the original Twin Peaks that's something that's special to me. Was stuff I had never seen before.
Well, it was just so it's like it's very incredibly surreal, very
Yeah.
cerebral. But what I was really paying attention to was like the actors, and it's like some of the actors were like good actors and they're acting legit. But then some of them are so I can't tell if they're bad actors or he just said like do whatever the hell you want, just like go off the rails. Like it's just so uneven. Like some people are acting, legitimately, and some people are so far off with just their mannerisms and what they're
I mean,
doing and
like I
this, that, and the
said,
other. And I'm like, what
you
is
had,
going on?
you had the log lady. I mean, yeah, you had like the man with one arm. You had Bob. All of a sudden, like you remember, all of a sudden, in the middle of a scene, you see this huge white horse show up. And then, one of the ultimate one is you see the small guy start talking backwards, like you had never seen that before, especially on television. It's like, what is this?
Right.
I still remember when Bob came out from behind the couch. It was one of the more scary things I ever saw in my entire freaking life. No, the first season is superb. The second season, it definitely goes down. It goes downhill. But I do like Fire Walk with Me is good.
I never watched Twin Peaks, but I still watched General Hospital. I loved Rich Man,
Okay.
Poor Man.
Oh, that's whoever said that. Thank you,
That's
thank you, thank
Sharon.
you.
Sharon.
Oh,
What is that? Is that is
Sharon.
that a series?
That was one of I'm just saying that was one of
I
the.
don't know. Like I have no idea what she's
It
talking about.
was it was an all timer. It
Really?
was with a young Nick Nolte
Hmm.
before he became crazy Nick Nolte. Was with Peter Strauss, Susan Blakely, Edward Asner was in it. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff. It was great. It was a great show.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of Nolte, I don't know what preview it was for, but I saw what I thought was Nick Nolte, and I'm like, I thought he
Oh, yes.
retired. He's
Yes. Yes.
he's
Yes.
in it. I was like, God damn, he's got to
It
be
is
close to.
in.
He's got
I'm
to be
glad.
80, if not older than 80.
I just said good night, Gracie, but now I'm gonna say this. Then I'm definitely off.
Okay.
So what you saw the trailer for, I think it was called Crime 101. It's a movie that comes out in, I think, February or March of next year. It's with Halle Berry, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Nick Nolte, and I'm probably confusing a couple actors. You've heard me mention his name. One of my favorite mystery writers, Don Winslow,
Yeah, I
a
know
couple of
Don.
years ago, wrote a group of short stories. And this is one of those short stories that they turned into a film.
Hmm. Okay. I was
So,
just shocked because I
you
thought I
know,
hadn't seen Nick Nolte for a
no,
long
I
time.
didn't. Exactly that's where it was. Like, I mean, I mean, when Nick Nolte was on the rail, when Nick Rail was focused, and which was unfortunately not often enough, he was fantastic. I loved seeing him in movies. Um, but he was off the reservation more than he was on. We'll just leave it at that.
Speaking of Ruffalo, like in Task,
I want to say you're going to keep me here till 1 o'clock.
what the last thing, and then we're going.
All right.
Just because you brought up Mark Ruffalo, like he was excellent in Task, but he played, he's got a paunch. He's kind of
Yeah.
doing this a lot, like he's kind of crippled up a little bit.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for him to. I couldn't tell if he was like waiting for the moment where like he needed to spring into action and he was going to be that guy. But no, I thought he was excellent. Like he did a really good job. I really.
You thought he was going to be you thought he was going to be defective, the Detective Fanning from Collateral.
He just looked like so hunched over, like he was playing an older guy than he was
I
supposed
know,
to.
like I said, well, at the beginning of the show, all he was doing was just watching birds and filling up a Phillies cup with Tito's and 7 Up or something.
Sharon says Mark Ruffalo needs a good shave and a haircut. He did. He's got the curly hair. He's got the big bushy beard. I thought he was excellent. The guy that played Robbie, I thought he did an excellent job. Like
Yes, Tom
that could have
Pelton.
been that could have
Tom
been
Pelton.
I don't know him at all, but that could have been such a cardboard character, but he brought so many
That
different
was yeah,
levels.
that was my first time seeing him. I know I guess I didn't watch a lot of Ozark, but I know he had a big arc in Ozark. I guess
Oh, okay.
where I guess he got notoriety. But this is the first thing that I've actually seen him in.
Oh, speaking of, I would then seriously.
But he is also another extra benefit is he's also now I believe the fiance of Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
So
really? Wow.
he's got that going for him.
Okay, well, that's would definitely not kick. Nick Nolte is 84. Damn. Um,
I think my favorite Nick Nolte movie, I mean, and Sharon, Rich Man, Poor Man may be his best role of all time, but one of my favorites is, I think it was 1979, where the movie is called Who'll Stop the Rain? And with him, Michael Moriarty, and Tuesday Weld.
Hmm.
It's off, I think the book, I think Ryan was Dog Soldiers, I think is and he plays a Vietnam vet who helps Robert. Oh, who's the guy I just mentioned? Tuesday Weld and who's the other actor? Is it Michael? Oh, I can't. I'm too tired here. Um, to help smuggle heroin in from Vietnam,
Hmm.
and he is great in it. And he's young and athletic and handsome, but then also, I mean, he is. I mean, Jack Cates in 48 Hours may be the signature role.
Oh, Michael Moriarty.
Malcolm Moriarty, yes. It's really he's fantastic in it.
Ray Sharkey. Why do I know that name? I have no idea, but that name
He
sticks
was
out
in
to me.
that movie, The Idolmaker, probably Ryan. You might have,
Okay.
and he was also Sonny Steelgrave on Wise Guys.
Oh, that's how I know him. Gotcha. Richard Mazer.
Yep. It's like I said, I watched the movie recently and I always thought it was better. The movie was better than when it was, and the movie's okay. His performance is spectacular. His performance is really, really good. Um, and then Jack Cates in 48 Hours.
Oh yeah. Probably his signature role. If anybody younger than us that knows him, it's from that.
And then if he wasn't such a tool, he probably should have won the Oscar for Affliction.
Oh God,
That
that was rough.
Coburn,
That was rough.
that Coburn won, I think, the best supporting, but Nolte should have won for actor that year.
Remember the movie Midnight Express about the guy from the
Oh,
USA who
Brad
gets
Davis.
thrown in jail and
Brad
convicted
Davis,
from
yeah.
pot? Okay, Task. Michael Keaton apparently was offered the original role. I'm
Oh,
like, that wouldn't have worked. Like, Mike is like 70 some years old. I'm sure they could have written the script, to fit him, but like, I don't see how that would work. But I thought
I
Ruffalo
don't
was
see
fantastic.
Michael Keaton as being like haggard and like world weary. He always looked like he's like he's like energy. He's like a smart mouth. He thinks he knows all the answers. He doesn't have, like I said, Ruffalo felt like you said the world had just beat him up, and he's just barely getting up.
All right, Freddie.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your
We gotta
time,
go.
buddy. Goodbye.
Whoever the people. There's people.
Sharon and somebody, Carol, are still here. So
Those are wonderful people. And for the people out in Europe and Asia, have a wonderful Monday.
World Tour coming next year. Thank you.
Exactly. Like I said, for our fans out there in Osaka, basically, I hope you had a wonderful day, and I hope you had a wonderful Monday.
Good night, Fred.
Ciao.
Oh my God.